Yes, Yahoo, I have not upgraded my mobile experience yet, because why would I pay for a free email?
Hey, Anir. Also, hello, all you other early birds.
They're not early birds. It's 20 minutes past starting time.
Hey, Power Stone's here. Hey, Power Stone.
Ah, Power Stone. Always welcome.
Our number one gifter.
Yes.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads. Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Oh yeah, I'm extra small now. Hey Dusty, how's it feel to have a little brother? Dusty?
It feels nice, if the touch confusing. He's not sure how to handle smaller siblings. Especially one so tiny he could carry them in both his arms.
Don't step on them. That's a rule.
Yes, 1 foot tall. That's, you know, every once in a while, I realize, holy crap, that's very small.
Yes, it's truly small. It's a ruler in your arms.
Exactly.
I carry him like little baby. You could probably ride your pseudo dragon at this point once it wakes up.
He has to grow a little bit more, but yeah,
Oh,
he's super young.
yes. Now, who can't Power Stone teleport now?
Oh, he has said he has a bag of gummy bears, and I said I jump into his bag of gummy.
Oh no, you are lost. Clearly, the only solution is to empty the bag into your mouth and hope.
Yeah, definitely do that, please.
If
It
you
won't
hear
happen.
yelling, you know there's a problem. If you hear...
How could that ever end up going badly?
It won't. That's the beauty of it.
That's luck.
Oh, apparently Power Stone is one of the few dragons in the world that doesn't eat people. Even though he has eaten people.
Oh,
Hi, Baldric! Yes, Power Stone is a family-friendly toon dragon.
yes. A family picture.
Hi, Azer.
Oh, Power Stone. I don't know if you were here last session, but Dusty ascended.
What happened?
No, he got his bracers. Remember?
Right.
He's ready.
Yes. And Cobalt got this extra fancy special too.
Yes, he did.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
When we ended, did we get to our destination?
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are currently, like, inside. You just managed to get the door open.
Right. I remember now.
Time to loot and pillage.
Can I say there's nothing more wholesome than the Pixie and Brutus comics?
Yes. Oh my god, I love
The what?
Pixie and Brutus.
It's about a retired military dog that this guy adopts, and it goes on a quote-unquote adventures as far as what Pixie goes with this little kitten.
This little kitten named Pixie.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's pretty good.
It's I don't know if you ever seen the scene of with the cat looking at a flower, and then a hawk comes out, and then out of the side panel, a German Shepherd tackles the hawk. And like one of the main tags is like new player. The hawk is like critical hit, and then the dog is like the DM hiding the critical hit from the new player.
no.
Oh, I like the
do
one.
it,
I like
Tyson.
the one that's like the Frieza picture, where in the background it just says critical hit on a low level player, and Frieza has a DM and just turns forward and says, "I'm going to ignore."
Yes. That was from the Broly movie.
Yep, I'm going to ignore that.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. I am Razim, And this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will turn it now over to our DM.
So, welcome back. It's we had a week off, so here we go again. Last session, you all finished your train ride on the way from the mega city of Sharn out to basically the boonies, leaving the small town which the train disembarked on and heading off into these rocky, unmaintained back roads. It's a temperate region, but it's also the middle of winter. So the journey was fairly cold for those of you who could not actually fit inside of the canvas covered carriage. But after about a week of travel in these conditions, you finally made your way up into the mountains, wherein you finally found your quarry, so to speak. A somewhat hidden entrance behind a frozen waterfall led you down a long, dark passageway deep inside the mountains. The passageway which slowly kind of widened outwards until you couldn't see either end, even those of you with advanced dark vision, leading to a gargantuan, heavily carved, heavily inscribed door, bearing many of the runes which adorn Inun's robes and personal possessions. These strange, mysterious things, which all seem to trace back to an organization of magical intent called the Evergreen Conclave. As Inun entered into this sort of central circle engraved into the floor, it seemed that he himself was the actual key to this gargantuan door. And we left off last session as the door slowly, noiselessly creeped open, pushing inwards into what felt like an even deeper, inkier darkness. So, that's where we'll start. As strange noises, these reverberations that you know are probably just artifacts of your imagination, echo off the cave walls around you.
We come to such lovely places.
I like it.
It's most certainly much better than Badlands.
Anything's better than the Mournlands at this point.
That's what. That's what.
Please don't jinx our adventure into here.
He's not.
Merely making a statement of our expert timing the last couple months.
Every time somebody says it couldn't possibly worse, it suddenly starts raining.
That's only happened.
Well, we can't tell. We're indoors.
Yes, which means that they just the universe would just have to throw something even worse at us in here.
Well, if it floods, I should be fine. Don't worry, guys.
I'm not worried about you.
He'll chuckle and lead the way in.
All right. So, as you all start to continue inwards, your various claws, paws, and other appendages kind of scratching along the floor, you continue onwards as you feel the distinct sensation of air kind of shifting behind you the door automatically starting to close.
Ooh, ominous.
Yark looks back and then looks forward. Yeah, I suppose that figures.
We are going to magic people.
I would have been surprised if it didn't do that.
Below.
The tunnel stretches on in front of you. As you continue onwards, it's a little while, at least 10 minutes, before
You guys hear me?
off. Yeah,
Yes.
for off in the distance, just at the edge of Aryabor's lamplight. As he's got an ever bright lantern that he's been holding out in front of him. You can see just on the edge of its kind of arcane blue light, you see a faintly humanoid shape, silently standing.
Nova, did you hear after the door opened before we walked in and Noon casted Animate Dead?
Oh,
I don't think
Gotcha.
Mike picked it up.
Um,
Caster and one of the hobgoblins.
Gotcha.
Said there's a figure standing at the end.
Yeah. Its shoulders are kind of hunched, but it's at standing height for an average humanoid.
Jer's just gonna go. Good evening, sir. Would you like to buy a basin?
Nothing.
Not really responsive, this one.
nah. Doesn't look like it.
Does he look like dead? Or is it kind of hard to tell?
It's hard to tell at this distance. You're really just seeing the very faint silhouette in front of the sort of dark background. There's a little bit of kind of, it seems to be a little bit of a haze in the air as well.
Mhm.
So it's making any shapes past about 30 feet a little bit fuzzy.
Is that
Especially
researcher
in the
with us?
Yeah, he's standing as like you guys are kind of in a little bit of a gaggle. It's not like a straight line in any sort of a way. You guys are kind of just doing your own thing, and he is very distinctly in the middle of you all, which gives an odd and kind of unnerving effect from his lantern as it kind of casts a lot of various shadows as it gets blocked by all of your various body and appendages.
Should I go up and greet our new guest?
Wait. Shadow puppets.
Please, maybe?
What was the halfling's name again?
Aryabor.
Aryabor.
Spelled with
okay.
every vowel in the book except, I think... No, I think it's got all of them.
No, Ari. Yeah, it's got all of them except Y, maybe? If that counts.
Yeah. He has Y in his full name.
Oh my gosh.
I need to check. This is important. Yeah, he's got all of them in his first name.
And Nane's gonna ask Aryabor if this place is supposed to be inhabited.
Well, nobody's really heard out of it in quite a long time, so I think it's safe to assume that there's going to be at least a few undead here. As he looks towards your kind of very slightly wheezing hobgoblin.
He's gonna look at the
including-
hobgoblin, look at his robe, and go, "That's about on brand." All right.
Yeah, well, other than the ones that you're making, I suspect we'll have to deal with a few.
I'll punch a zombie.
Crack his neck and approach the figure.
All right. It seems to be wearing maybe a shawl of sorts or a veil. This kind of light, dusty cloth covering over its entire body.
Me.
I'm gonna ready an action.
All right.
If this thing makes aggressive movements towards me, I'm gonna smack it with a hammer.
All right.
So I'm gonna put my hand on its shoulder. It's like,
As you approach, the head was kind of staring off directly towards where you were coming before, and you came at it from like a diagonal angle.
mhm.
So you can see the covering on its head shift slightly as its head kind of turns to face you. But nothing. No glowing eyes, no anything really. And as you get closer, you realize that the covering seems to end about where its hips would be. There's nothing beneath it.
You, sir, are a freaky gentleman or gentlewoman. I don't know. Do you know which way it is towards the treasure room?
You put your hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
As soon as you touch it, it just goes limp as the cloth falls, as if nothing was actually there. And you're holding.
I didn't do it. I
You're
didn't.
holding a inert, very thin and tattered, dusty cloth.
What are you breaking now?
I didn't do it. Not this time. You can't blame the gator.
Dusty crosses his arms. I learned from the best.
You know, I'm starting to realize where you get a lot of it from. So, turns out this thing may have been a specter of some sorts. So, just kind of keep your head on the swivel, guys.
Ooh.
I know. He, like, had missed half his body. Still didn't give me the directions, which I find very rude.
Bad service. Bad.
I'm going to take the robes with me.
All right. Go ahead and add one shawl of very bad quality.
Spook robes.
Mm-hmm. Can I get a perception check from everybody?
Yes.
All right. Everybody above a 15
Yeah.
would realize that Blue is no longer here.
What the fuck? He's such a big clumpy boy. He can't just vanish. Unless he was taken.
Can I tell
So you
where he went?
guys did kind of stop when you were like investigating. So looking around as you start walking again, you don't hear his footsteps and he's gone.
Oh. Where did he go?
Great. I say I'll take a long drag on my cigar. For one so heavy and dense, he's very quiet.
I don't think that's it.
I'll have to put a bell on him.
Me first.
Dova, cast detect party member.
At what level?
19.
I don't think you have that many levels of spells combined.
Dang. I honestly tried, guys. I'm sorry.
I cast Annoy the DM at monk level.
Yeah, it's working.
Maybe we should tie ropes around our waists in here.
It's the Morns all over again.
I told you!
I mean, Yark, you can use your 500 inches of twine.
It's true. I'm gonna do that. Why not? Who cares? Rope is too big anyway.
Yeah, but that would be easy to break.
Okay, where's your rope?
I've got 50 feet of rope.
Oh god, I just realized I'm gonna have to adjust my equipment so much. We'll just figure it out as we go. But yeah, as long as you guys have rope, I just have 600 feet of.
Inches.
Sorry, yeah, 600 inches.
Hmm.
Well, no, because it's halved by length, so it's just
Okay.
300 feet of 300 feet of.
Well, okay. Code Morn lands then. Tied up, keep an eye on your fellow party members.
All right.
Yeah, basically.
I expected this to happen, but not like this.
I thought it would be deeper inside, honestly speaking.
The party loses track of Cobalt only to see him a few minutes away. Only to see him a few seconds later by, moving a little bit because he's behind someone.
Wait, do that thing you. Hey, Stittle, do that thing that's super annoying and call them the wrong name. What was it?
Cortana?
That's it. She'll
Yeah,
have to respond.
What a dumb sounding name.
Hey, isn't
Nothing.
that its name?
No, you stupid.
No.
Ah, you're so funny.
Were you dropped on your head as a child?
So,
What's this room look like?
well, you actually really haven't seen the edge. You can see kind of faint, just kind of following almost the contour in the floor. There's a very faint rounding to it that indicates the direction of the tunnel. You haven't really had a good look at the other sides of it, as you've just kind of been following in the darkness. Although you can stick to one of the sides of the tunnel if you want.
So, which direction was that thing looking? That thing in a shawl?
It was
Down
looking,
the tunnel.
yeah, it was looking the back towards the way you came.
Okay.
If no one protests, Zerk will start leading the party down the hole.
Sounds good
I'm
to
gonna-
me.
I'm gonna take out my what's it called? Hold on.
Dova.
Yeah?
Are there any like sconces on the sides of the cave? Walls?
Dove, I'm gonna take out my drift marble.
On the sides of the caves, or on this tunnel, there are not any sconces. But you can feel kind of along the wall. There's these very faint, kind of swirling lines that seem to continue basically along the entire length of the tunnel. As you feel along them, you can feel kind of a little, almost a magical resonance, as if it's kind of a conduit.
I'll guess that we follow the markings and probably get a marching order going.
Well, I'll be in the front.
Sinnoh will go right behind him.
Right. The marching order sheet is just all sorts of broken right now.
I can see that. I can't
There's
get my.
just graffiti. There's yours on there. Look.
Yeah, no, like, we put them down at the same time.
Okay. Now you're just down there.
Once everyone gets wrapped up, Zer's gonna ask for a roll call.
Eric is gonna rest.
That was sufficed.
Howdy.
Sinel kind of pokes DeSoda. He
yes.
gives a little growl before he says, "I'm here."
Wait, is it not here?
Mm.
He has to step away for a sec.
So we're missing Blue, and he's gonna look around. It's like, where's the squirrel?
There's an
She's-
empty loop of rope.
Wait, I thought she just wasn't here this game.
Zer's eyes is gonna go wide, and he's just gonna go, "Oh, holy, Fury's fire! I feel bad for whatever took her."
Yeah, it might have been a wrong choice on their part.
Dusty still hasn't responded. Dusty, where are?
Hello.
Oh, he's right there. Okay.
Not
we're all
funny,
here.
son.
The rest of us are here.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
How are those bracers fitting?
Very nicely. I put them around my ankles.
Nice.
And the
Big and
restitchers
well-
in between.
Yeah, he's here. Sorry.
Okay.
Was I supposed to call? Was I supposed to recall? Sorry, I didn't realize I was already part of the party.
I just
Feel so-
tower over him and
feel so
stare at
official.
him.
When you're taking the census.
Yeah, so if everyone's here, he'll start leading everybody down. Keeping an active awareness of creepy things.
All right. You guys continue onwards, down 2 members of your party. It's a little bit of an awkward walk with a loop of rope around your waist. But you eventually get used to the kind of strange gait that you gain from it. It's easier for others as you are simply riding on top of somebody else's shoulders. But about 30 minutes goes by and you feel a kind of distinct chill in the air. But as you're continuing on, can I get a perception check from everybody? This is
Yes.
visual, not sound.
Okay.
But what if you see with sound?
Double
Never mind, I got it.
disadvantage.
Dang.
Hot damn.
Yark is paying too much attention to not being dragged by the person in front.
Right. I was like, hey, Sinel, could you roll a I was like, right, yeah. I remember.
There's reasons.
Better substitute. All right. So Dusty, Zerth, and DeSoda would notice all this
Ooh.
as you guys are moving along. The shadows cast by the ever-bright lantern, kind of in the middle of your midst, causes all the shadows around you to kind of move and flicker, and sometimes they look fairly ominous, and you kind of see them out of the corner of your eye because they distinctly look like they're part of the environment. But they kind of rapidly shift away, and you realize it's just a coincidence that they look like that.
Oh.
But about at the same time, all 3 of you notice that some of the shadows are very, very steady. And are distinctly actually out there.
That doesn't look right.
Vaguely humanoid-shaped shadows, just kind of hanging in midair. And as you sort of continue to move a little bit, you can see them. You can kind of guess their position in space. One of them is about 3 feet off the ground, off to the side. But there's about 5 in total. 4 of them are on the ground, with the 5th up in the air.
Dusty will punch
Is-
into the air with his arcane arm.
Oh, I was going to firebolt the one in the air.
I see we're going after the same target. I see.
I was gonna do channel divinity and turn undead,
All right.
We're doing a lot of things.
which is actually destroy undead.
What's the
Ooh.
DC or what's the CR on that right now?
Let's see, what level am I? 8. Oh, level 1 or lower.
Level
CR.
1 or lower. Gotcha.
At level 11, it goes up to 2.
Yark says, "Alright, guys, team attack. Dusty, Zerth, now.
Yes.
Holy flaming fit! Holy flaming fit!" As we all do our 3 actions at the same time.
All right. So, what's your dexterity, Zerth? And what's your dexterity, Yark?
Like this dexterity
Not-
score?
Not going to
Yeah.
ask me.
Well, I know what yours is. Yours is really high.
Mine's a
Ooh.
mighty 9.
9?
16.
16? All right. So, Dusty, you go first.
Okay. I guess my arcane arm is just a fist.
Yeah. It specifically says
Yes.
yeah. Magical melee weapon. Yeah. So that would hit. Go ahead and roll damage. So that would
Smack
be
attack.
that would just be 1d8 force damage.
Oh, is it? I thought
Yeah.
it was 1d. I thought it was my monk attack. All right, just
Uh,
1d8.
Yep. For now. All right. It actually makes contact with the shadow. The magical force in the arm seemingly interfacing with its spectral body almost immediately as it flares into motion, kind of charging at you with an inaudible screech.
I'm getting used to this arm, and I'm finding I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now bring it on, you spooky fucker.
Yark.
I'm here.
Go ahead and
Kobold,
do your thing.
I got that number.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
I got that number.
All right. Do you fire into the same one that Dusty was attacking?
Yes.
All right.
We-
As the firebolt slams into it, its form just decorporealizes, kind of dissolving into this very dark, dense mist that kind of falls from the air and kind of descends upon you. You can smell the very faint scent of decay before it just disappears. What's the DC on your channel or your channel divinities, Earth?
It is. See, I gotta look up my turn undead. Wisdom saving throw. And my DC, I think, is 14. Let me double check that real quick. Oh, 15.
All right, cool. As you call upon the wrath of the Fury. That familiar kind of red haze passes over your eyes for a moment as you just focus on these 4 shadows. You can see their heads, the silhouette kind of changing shape to indicate that they're looking at you. And just as they take a step, a wave of this invisible energy passes through them as they just turn into mist. They had a challenge of 1,
Wow.
and they all failed.
Long cigar. Drag.
Go ahead and mark that down that you use that for sure.
Yep. I can use it one more time.
All right. As Sinel kind of slings his bow back over his shoulder, silence has returned.
God, I hate the undead.
Well, we're just gonna have to spot them again. I hope.
Right. Inun does the looking to the side, looking forward.
Sorry?
Zer says, "I hate the undead." Inun does the looking to
Oh,
the
yeah.
side, then looking forward.
No, just looking at the camera. Make a
Office.
Jim face.
Yeah.
So I wanted to prank him today, so we put poison in his coffee.
Oh yeah, that fantastic video. I hired a stunt double.
Letterhead and sending him messages from the future.
Oh yeah, what were you doing? Onward.
All right.
All right. So,
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the quest is. Isn't where you back yet? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't have a lifeline.
Oh no.
Oh, we got it. Oh.
Yep.
You got it where?
Oh, he's not back yet.
No.
I got a message from him.
Alright.
Hey Jaffer. If you're in the Discord, could you send it to Dovo directly? Because Zim isn't here right now.
Yeah, was that? I'm guessing that was Jaffer, right then,
Yeah.
based on the.
He did a
Okay.
moderate and said see Telegram.
Gotcha. Zerth, as that red haze kind of dissipates, seems that everyone has gotten a little bit taller around you. As you kind of look around and your mind slowly starts to catch up as you realize you think you might actually be back to normal now.
Oh.
I raise an eyebrow and take a long drag of my cigar. Interesting. We will see how long this lasts. He's been lied to before.
I mean,
Out
you're
of-
still very large.
Out
Yeah.
of character. What monster would do that?
I know, right?
But he's not large sized now.
Hmm. He takes up all of that 5 feet.
So am I back to medium size?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to make adjustments in a second. Alright, I pull the group along with me.
All right. That cold feeling in the air continues to grow a little bit more as you feel a very faint breeze from up ahead. As the tunnel kind of makes a very gradual turn, you see very faint light. And as you round the corner, you find yourself at the entrance of a very, very large, cold room. You look down and you see what appears to be about 3-inch deep layer of snow on the ground. And looking around you, looking up especially, you see every once in a while there's these little patches of tiny little bright lights, almost like stars. Around you, very faintly, the light from the ever-bright lantern reveals a very large, kind of dark, imposing shapes along the edges of the sort of the passage. Looking closely at them, they look many-limbed, kind of almost like a triangular shape, but you realize that they might actually be trees. Coniferous trees, to be exact.
Okay, wait. So we entered a bigger room. There's snow on the ground, and there's possible man-eating trees.
I'm not gonna say
He
that.
tried to suck my blood.
I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic.
All right.
Zer's gonna look at the room. Nope, we're leaving. This is the morn all over again. I never woke up from that nightmare.
Hey, I'm the one that got slammed by a carriage after being tricked into thinking there was a baby.
You also got eaten by a tree, too.
Almost. It just
Forgot about
nibbled. Plus, I ate it back. A little bit, and I hated it, but I did it.
A very faint breeze blows through this room. As the trees kind of rustle on all sides, seeming incredibly loud compared to the complete silence that you were in before.
Noon, your people are kind of assholes if these are their keep out measures.
Yeah, thanks. This is my first time meeting them too.
I'm just saying, maybe it runs in the family a little bit.
What family?
I don't know, we're about to meet them.
If you start animating trees that to eat people, me and you are gonna have a long conversation in noon.
Alright, so you said that we're seeing like stars?
Yeah. Putting a little bit of the pieces together, you realize it looks an awful lot like a partly cloudy night sky.
How did we end up in Snowden? We're in a cave with an entire snowy forest and these ambiguous stars. Alrighty then. What does detect magic show me? Anything?
What's the range on it?
10 minutes.
Range, not time.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Hold on, let me see.
How far can you see stuff?
30 feet around me.
Okay. There's a lot of magic. But you can tell that it's almost as if it's the entire room. Nothing particularly on the ground around you is making is giving off magic. It's all giving off a little bit of alteration magic, or not alteration, transmutation. There's a little bit of illusion kind of mixed in there.
Yeah, I was about to say if I could do some kind of mental check against illusions.
We can choose to disbelieve.
I think that's gonna be wisdom.
Roll to pinch myself.
Intelligence.
Is it intelligence? All right, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
You usually use int checks against illusion.
Gotcha.
Come on. Why are we doing this again?
Why don't I punch a tree?
Violence is gonna solve everything in the end.
It does. It really does.
Tables on these dice are terrible.
Change your color. New color, new dice.
There you go.
That doesn't work as it does in person.
Should have optimism. So, without the evident flashbacks I'm currently having, let's proceed with caution. You said we're seeing those shadows again?
No.
No.
But it's quite dark.
I'm
The
gonna
only
let them
light.
all know that there is illusion and alteration magic present.
All right. As you continue onwards, you're continuing to keep a good lookout for anything strange, anything magical. Would you be sticking behind or kind of near the head of the pack?
I'll still to the front with Gaster if he's still there.
All right. You get to about here. Sadly, there's no like inbuilt lines on this map, so they look pretty faint on my screen.
Certain ones are darker than the others.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 30 feet ahead on either side in those large snowbanks, you see two pretty stout-looking lumps of transmutation magic. You bring him back? If you're trying to talk, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to have him. He wasn't too far up ahead. He's just right in front of us, in case he needs to step on a trap.
Okay. Yeah, about 30 feet ahead, kind of on either side of the little trail you're walking on. There's two fairly large, powerful lumps of transmutation magic just kind of inside those snowbanks.
Can I tell how powerful?
Give me an Arcana check. Yeah. That's some solid transmutation magic right there. If you have to give it a kind of a spell level rating.
From 9.
Probably
Yeah,
a
9. How powerful is this?
solid 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna let the party know, and then I can attempt to dispel it. I don't know what that's gonna do.
What's the worst that could happen?
The room collapses.
I don't like those odds.
You would be able to tell with your magical experience that this isn't something that you can dispel with without pretty powerful equipment, or a workshop at the very least.
Oh, but I rated its power level, and that matches mine.
You can certainly try.
All right, I want to get closer to the source if you can move my icon.
All right. The source would be right about here and here, respectively. So you want Gaster to be up there?
I want to be with me.
All right.
It's over 9,000!
Nothing seems to be happening. That lump is still down there. It has not moved.
I wasn't expecting it to. I just want to get closer and see if there's else I can
As
do,
you-
if I can discern anything better being up close to it.
As you do get closer, though, you feel, or you would see a tiny little, kind of a little bit of a kind of tiny little string of divination magic kind of poke out near you, and then withdraw back in from both of them.
I just
Likely
wanna-
identification. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I'm wondering, would identifying it help me out anymore or no?
You could try.
Identify lets you figure out what spell was cast on something and who.
All right, yeah, if no one else is doing anything, I'll start ritual casting identify.
All right.
I'm gonna be on guard.
I need.
I'm
You
actually
guys
gonna
gonna
move up closer
move up?
to him.
About how close?
I would say, you know what? I'm gonna get right behind him, so in case something tries to grab him, I can yank him away or react faster.
All right.
Well, first
So-
off, I need 52 more gold coins to put into my wand. Right in the coin slot.
So, is that for identify the gold?
Yeah, I only have.
That doesn't
48 gold
consume
right
the
now.
amount of gold.
Does it not?
Yeah,
Oh.
it just needs something worth of that amount.
Oh, okay.
If you have
I
a
forgot.
if you have
I
a spell focus, then you're good to go.
Okay, yeah, I have a spell focus.
Unless it says it consumes it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
it'll
what I
tell-
was-
it'll tell you-
That's what I was missing. I forgot it wasn't consumed.
So,
All right, yeah.
as you hear that kind of heavy snow crunching behind you, you see another one of those little threads of divination magic kind of whip out behind you from the lump in the snow. This time, there's just a large, heavy pulse of arcane power as you feel the ground beneath you sort of crunch and crumble. That large lump of transmutation magic moves. Quite a lot of speed too.
I've returned.
Hi.
Before I was done identifying it.
As Earth was walking up, you were about maybe a few minutes into it.
Earth, you sure you want to get this close to Gaster?
Hmm.
You hate him, right?
I give you a blank stare. He has
Yeah.
his uses.
You guys go check out the other one while I'm working on this.
Yeah, okay.
The other pile over there.
So,
Trying to see if Zerth's proximity is what caused the thing to move.
Yark. Yark, hey, Yark.
the snow explodes around Zerth.
Yark says,
Oh,
hey, what?
never mind. Things are happening.
I stand there and take the volley of the snow.
No,
Oh, it
that
ain't
would
just
be
snow. Just-
Oh,
Oh,
I
good.
have buddies. Hello.
Oh,
you
motherfuckers,
two
talking
come
about the
here
undead here
often?
and some elementals show up.
All right,
Sounds about right.
so 2 hits from one of them. As that's 24 points of bludgeoning damage total from his maul. And the second one is going to rear back with this maul. That's basically a haft of kind of very, very cold steel, with a kind of a claw tip, clutching a large shard of what looks like either crystal or ice.
Mm.
And the entire thing itself is made up of this frozen, kind of dirty snow and ice. This one. That's a 22 to hit. Go ahead and give. Here, I'll just do it. This should just do it for you. You succeed against the saving throw.
Woohoo!
Oops. And you take. That's 4. Minus the last one. You take an additional 14 points of thunder damage.
Thunder.
Yeah. As it's as a tremendous amount of magical energy is just pumped through the staff into your chest. A tremendous discharge of sonic energy that sends a lot of the snow on the surrounding trees off of the boughs. But let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Dova said pump through the staff.
Can you shut up? You shush.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
No.
Zerf's just gonna sigh heavily.
You're lucky I didn't use rod.
You just did.
And all over Zerf's
Thought I used
Zerf's
shaft.
chest too.
Yeah.
Also that one.
That makes sense. There's snow and meat cleaving everywhere.
Do we need
Yes,
a
and the
stapler
snow's-
emote?
And the snow is making it difficult for me to walk around as well. Stapler emo.
Yes. Critical Role has one for any time. It's to represent Akshar.
Oh. HR?
Human resources.
Ah.
For certain particular complaints that I do not want to get into on the stream.
Sinnel, I think you're up first. I think I've got an initiative from everybody. Inun, your people will be acting on your turn.
Your
I think
people?
did we establish that last time?
Noon has people?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's, what was it, at the end of his turn?
Yeah.
Well-
And then, alright, yeah. Sinnel, your turn. Alright, that'll hit. Go ahead and...
Babush.
Alright. Seems that the magic and the arrows is actually doing work.
Cool. I was hoping that would actually work.
Alright, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that would be the end of my turn.
Alright.
DeSoda will go and run up. And do the bite.
Alright.
He does the monster bite. He does the bite. with wolfish delight. He did the
Yeah,
bite.
it's a crit.
He likes to bite and chew and stuff. Where's the deck? Not that deck. Not that one. There it is. I have way too many decks of cards on my desk now. Because now I got ones for the Starfinder campaign too. Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of crit cards.
And fumble. Pierce Deer, maximum damage, and roll the damage dice again.
So clear the crit first.
Yep. And
So just roll the damage dice once, and then I'll add the max.
oh, I can make it do max.
All right.
And then minimum. Damn it.
It evened out.
Well, that's it for his turn.
All right. Hey, Noon, what are you doing?
Righty then. I'm gonna use Scorching Ray and see if I can try.
All right.
It's on Earth, but they're iced over, so let's try to melt them. Nice. We got one.
That is going to miss both of them.
Let's see, 3. All right, Dumb and Dumber. Let's get an attack. Caster's gonna use Short Sword.
It's going to miss.
And the Hobgoblin. I don't have the stats.
You should be on the combat tracker for you.
I forgot. I just added his attack to Gaster's sheet. That's why that doesn't fit.
Ah,
Like, really though.
man,
5 attacks.
that's rough. I mean, they do have a pretty decent AC. Since you notice a few bit of metal plates inside of the kind of frozen earthen body. All right, it is going to be their turn. The one that did the thunderous strike on, or sorry, this is the other one. So the one on the left seems to be completely ignoring the attacks from the Hobgoblin, in addition to the ones from Inun. So he just gonna go right ahead and do 3 attacks on Zerth.
Oh, cool. I'm the popular one today.
Your AC is like 18, right? That's
It
19.
is 19.
19. All right, so 2 hit. All right. And then this one over here, the one on the other side of you,
Hmm.
did not like being shot from the tree. So he's going to, with a surprising amount of speed and grace, burrow into the ground. 1, 2, 3. That is more than enough. He's going to try to uproot the tree.
Oh no.
Just pick it up. Was what he's trying.
He's going to get under it. You know, in SpongeBob.
Oh.
Oh,
Does anyone would like to attempt to jump to the next nearby tree?
Absolutely. With that roll,
Yeah.
you can do so. As you jump to this tree, the tree beneath you, wobbling and kind of lurching forebodingly as it crashes to the ground, throwing snow everywhere. It basically got under the roots and just tipped it over. But it's now where the roots used to be and where they're kind of sticking up out of the ground. All right.
You can't catch a
Dusty.
Martin that easily.
I know.
Oh
I've tried.
boy. Now, what do I do in this situation?
Murder.
I'm going to...
Punch.
Nah. I'm gonna bring out my pet. It's been a while since we've seen Pudding! Go,
Keep him
Pudding!
away from DeSoda.
He's going after the one chasing you. Pudding! Eat that rock guy over there.
Blub, blub.
Yeah. Awesome. Go, fire
I need
Pudding!
to roll initiative for him. Create, delete, close.
He looks back to Yark and says, "What pudding is best for this right now? They came out of a cold place, so fire, right?" You said rocks on fire.
I mean,
Right?
I feel like fire generally is a good option.
Fire pudding!
It goes before you.
Zoom!
Fire pudding!
What was it? It was lightning pudding where he had
He
a
got
decent
super
move speed,
fast.
right?
You got real
Yeah.
friggin' fast.
I
Lightning
love
pudding,
it.
lightning pudding, lightning
I
pudding,
wonder what
burst
fire.
pudding!
I wonder what fire.
It's very warm
Ah, perfect.
and has a distinct smell of tar.
Ah, less perfect.
Dusty goes over here and glares menacingly at the one punching his dad. I don't think there's flanking in this game, is there?
No.
I didn't so.
You have any actions left to punch him?
No, I used my action to get
Bam
pudding
him
out.
Gotcha.
And I can't use my bonus action to punch unless I made a melee attack.
Gotcha. All right. Yark,
Hello.
your
I
turn.
am small.
You're very small. I said the snow was about 3 inches deep. So that's about
One
up to
quarter
your
of my
shin.
height.
Yeah. That's up to your knees. Your legs are very cold.
Oh. I'll start with Earth Elementals. None of them are wearing armor, right?
All of them are wearing armor.
Like metal armor?
Oh. Very good.
Give me a
That size.
Or is it like natural armor? They might just be natural armor since they're
It's-
Earth Elementals.
Yeah, I think it would be considered natural armor, but it is metal, so
Hmm.
I'll. Oh no, it specifically says plate, so yeah, it does have metal armor for the purposes of heat metal.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna heat metal the one that's not surrounded by my allies.
All right.
Take the spell slot and damage. Wait, I should probably put it on the thing.
Yeah. It'll do it auto magically.
Okay. It took me a moment to realize that the whoops. How did that happen?
Good question.
Whoops!
You wanna undo that and I'll roll again?
Yeah, I'll just undo that.
Hey Dova, you wanna use the first
No.
gosh dang it. Alright, well he could take a constitution saving throw, but it's not gonna do anything unless he can drop the metal armor.
Yeah, he can't.
Alright,
It's
cool.
kind of stuck in him.
Disadvantage on next.
All right.
And that's the end of my turn.
Sir.
It took me a moment to realize that
Hello.
the party walking order sheet was not the same thing as the
Yeah, no, it's something completely different actually.
So, Dova, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is snow water?
Well, there isn't water
you wanna
damage. It's
control
lumped in with
water-
ice.
If you want to control water, no.
Okay. That was in that reference. Cool. Good to know. I'm gonna touch myself and give myself some cure wounds because I am hurting a little bit.
All right.
Let's
Dusty, shield your eyes.
Oh, whoppings! I just poked my cheek.
Sexual healing.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Left 4 Dead
Well,
mod.
he did say touch himself for healing, so
So I'm gonna smack this earth elemental with my hammer.
All right. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Which one is that? Number 10. Let's see.
Hit.
Alright, cool. And damage. And they take an additional 1d8 because of my divine strike ability.
All right.
Where's d8? Did that go?
Did not. I'm not seeing it.
It was a 6. Let me roll again.
No. I'll put it on him.
Okay.
Oops.
Because, let's see. Divine Strike. At 8th level, once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with your weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 damage of the same type dealt by the weapon to the target. It increases to 2d8 when I hit level 14.
Gotcha.
And that's going to be the end of my turn as I take a long drag on my cigar and finishing it.
All right. I believe that's everyone who's actually here. Sinnel, your turn. You've just relocated.
All right.
I was supposed to say, is he caught again?
Shoot him again. Do I hit?
Hit.
And I will be ready this time to jump to another tree if it comes to that.
Gotcha.
And for DeSoto, he would probably shy away from the big giant cube that melted him before.
It's probably a good idea.
Instead, going this way. Boom. Up and around.
Does he have the movement to do that?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's his speed?
40.
Gotcha. Never mind. All right, that hits.
And jump!
And what happens if it fails that? I'm guessing it's prone.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So is it?
Yeah. As basically he grabs one of its legs and just pulls it out from under him. But that son of a gun is heavy. All right, Noon.
Can I do like an insight check to see if the thing was interested, if it's even interested in attacking me?
Go ahead.
I want to attack my undead, and it didn't seem to care about me before, so.
Yeah, it doesn't seem interested in attacking you or your constructs.
Is that other patch of alteration magic around, that lump or whatever?
It seems to be the other one.
Okay, so both of these things.
Yeah, both of these were the large lumps of transmutation magic beneath the snow.
Okay. Let's see. So DeSoto got the earth elemental down, right?
Yeah, it's on the ground now.
All right. I want to have Gaster not essentially grappled, but just flop on it because he's petrified. He's made of stone. He's probably freaking heavy.
All right.
I
So
want
he'd have to
Gaster
go 1, 2.
Oh, I was going because it's right here. DeSoto knocked that one over.
Well, yeah, he'd have to go around.
Or you can just step out of the way. He was right here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bother disengaging because I don't think it's gonna attack me. I'll step out of the way.
All right. Yeah, it does not attack you.
All right. So Gaster, I'm trying to have him flop on top of that thing, so it'll have to struggle against him, so those two can still fight it. And
Stab.
that one's going after Sinel, so something about that.
All right. So I think just basically just going to gonna clomp on up and just spread eagled on top of the earth elemental.
Yeah, that's about right.
You can see you can feel and kind of hear a faint crunching from the snow and ice being some of the more brittle, less well taken care of bones just kind of splintering. Gaster is very heavy.
All right,
It
and
seems
then
that the
I'm
earth
gonna
elemental is struggling a little bit with the weight.
then I'm gonna Scorching Ray the elemental 24.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack. Hit.
All right.
All right.
Odds on this? I guess not. All right, yeah, that's it.
Who here understands Sylvan? Or sorry, Sylvan.
I do.
I do as well.
Nope.
At least I'm pretty sure I do. Yes. Yes, I do.
Common, Elvish, Ignet, and Sylvan.
Give me a sec. My sound has completely died, and I don't know why.
Oh noes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do conversation stuff when I can't hear you talk back. Sorry if I'm talking over you, by the way. I got 0 sound. What the fuck? Okay, I think I. All right, that was dumb. Like that the 3.5 jack at the back.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit unplugged. That's all
It's
that
always
was.
it's always the simplest things.
I know, right? It's annoying. All right. So, you hear a very deep rumble from the one you just attacked, Inun. As it says in Sylvan to you, it says, "Identify yourself, imposter." As it is going to charge at you.
I am Anun, new keeper of the runes. I come here for answers and you attacked me. State the purpose of this place.
It stops. Here, you gotta choose. Here, let's go in this one. It stops, Maul held upright, its armor kind of sizzling and bubbling from the heat metal spell.
Anun's gonna put away his wand, so he's empty-handed and just look directly at it. Like, not showing any fear.
Are these your charge? As the one of its kind of knurled, frozen hands points towards the party who is about to lay the smack down on one of the other elemental.
These are my companions. Yes, they're with me. And as you've seen from my actions so far, I have one of my own thralls just trying to pin your companion. You attacked us first. If you cease hostilities, we will cease.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Coming too.
There's a very slight pause as both of them stop. Before, almost instantaneously, with a flurry of snow and kind of frozen dirt and ice, they both burrow back into the ground.
Leave them be, guys. It's automated defense.
Hell of a welcoming committee, isn't it?
Yark, do you drop your heat metal?
Do I drop?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, he's gone, I guess.
All right. Was it on? It's on this one.
So now that we know
At
that
least I
there
got
are,
something out of it, at least.
yeah, now that we know that there are at least elementals here that were specifically placed here, and it's not just wanton undead. Let's make sure we're picking our battles.
Well, it seems to me that you have the golden tongue to talk to these things.
Like I'm some sort of
Yeah.
key here. All right, Mo and Larry, get back here.
Okay.
Zareth would take an obvious mental, like you can tell he's taking a mental note of that,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't.
Zareth
He
will
just
remember
likes them.
this.
Yeah, Zareth will remember this.
It's like Fallout. Everyone hated that. Just straight up.
Art in the art share
We
channel,
get
by
it,
the
but
way.
we don't like it. What was that?
Art in the art share channel, by the way.
Sweet.
Nice.
I love it.
Oh, what is this? Oh, this one's rad. Oh, I love that top one.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That one's pretty rad. Oh, your stuff's great.
Yeah. Getting
One of my
better and
favorite
better
thi-
every week.
One of my favorite things to see is when it's a funny picture and you swap out the runes with something else. It reminds me of maybe it's not DBZ Abridged or whatever it is when they keep swapping the symbol on Goku's.
Oh yeah.
On his
Yeah.
I was
Wait,
I think it was
wait.
Dragon's Ball
Dragon-
P.
Yes, the
Drake,
second
that,
one.
that one. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
It's great. Also,
Yeah, oh my God.
Vegeta's tattoo when he's dying.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember Power Stone did one where it was just like all the alphabet just randomly on his runes, and that had me dying laughing.
Zareth's gonna fall to the ground on his butt and just kind of cast sheer wounds on himself.
Go ahead and give me those healing rolls.
Alright, I'm gonna do it at first level. I'm gonna do it at second level. Let's see. So that's gonna be 2 of the rolls. 5.
No, it's just 2 dice.
No, I meant like I'm gonna do 2d8 plus 4.
Okay.
You could.
Yeah, I'm not doubling the multiplier.
No, I mean you could have just rolled it from the spell. Right?
It won't let, for some reason, it won't let me roll it at level 2.
You
Oh,
click
makes
and
sense.
drag, and then you right-click once to add the second die.
That's so cool!
Okay, that's pretty.
How have you not known that? How many years have we been...
They
Sam,
always do it.
honestly, how often do we cast things at a high? Not as often as you'd think, honestly.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll another d8 then.
I mean, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I did.
Zareth, don't be alarmed, but you feel a little mechanical spider.
I look down.
It's fixing you up.
Basically, doing little sutures and injecting little vials of potion.
Nice.
Some ointment on the outside once it's done. Oh, Dova.
Yeah?
Because I'm extra small, instead of one big spider, it's like a bunch of tiny.
That's horrifying and awesome at the same time.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's like a bunch of baby spiders when the little pouch explodes.
Maybe not that tiny, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, I meant like the horde.
I
kinda.
will fucking kill you both.
Why? It's just
'Cause
spiders.
They're good for the environment.
Yeah. Spiders are good.
Mhm.
They're cool dudes.
Spiders. I wish I would
Senel's gonna help with some healing.
Time ago.
I give an appreciated nod. Well, that was enlightening.
As everything kind of calms back down, you realize that the clouds above have cleared, and you see a night sky. What you don't see, however, are, whether it just be because maybe the trees are too tall, but you wouldn't see the ring of Sybaris above, the large kind of rings, planetary rings that are normally kind of a glittering gold band across the sky.
Wait, so are we outside or are we in a cave?
Good question.
Do you know how cool it would be to live next to a planet that had big rings like Saturn?
Like a gas giant? I'd love that.
I mean, Eberron does have a ring system. Looks
Mhm.
pretty friggin' rad.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, your planetary neighbor is a gas giant
Oh
with
yeah,
a ring.
no, that would be
With
pretty
what-
cool. Also, Eberron has 12 moons.
I
Yep.
think that's pretty cool.
Night sky is pretty wacky.
Fantasy skies are amazing.
Mm-hmm. Inun,
I mean,
you
our
would notice this
sky,
immediately.
our sky
And
is
Sandal,
really.
you probably would as well. But can Dusty, Yark, and Zerth give me a survival check?
Sure.
He said survival,
Yeah.
Whoops.
I am descendant of dinosaurs.
and I help.
I'm not.
I'm descended of
Dusty,
dragons.
you don't really deal with like the sky much or like the stars at all. I mean, they're there, but
I mean,
Eh.
I don't. I mean, I see them. I see them when I fly, but they're bright, I guess.
yeah. The rest of you would distinctly recognize this is not the normal night sky. The constellations that ought to be there are not there.
Stretch, but can I do like an intelligence save or something since I'm a cartographer? If I can
A history check.
if I can figure out what season we're in based on the constellations that are above.
Sounds like a history
Absolutely.
check or something. like,
Yeah.
remember.
Give me. You can either do a history check or just a straight intelligence check, just to try to figure out what's going on here.
Also, I posted something in Eberron. I guess I'll post it in media sharing. As
All right.
Inun. Grabbing your
Big brain.
You rack your brain for a while back. You did quite a bit of studies on the night sky, and you come to the realization that no, this is the night sky, but you recognize some elements of it. This is the night sky from a very, very, very long time ago. You can see some of the beginnings of the constellations. The moons are completely absent, which is, you know that the moons have really always been there as far as written society is known. But the stars themselves reflect a time very, very early in the written history of the continent. And as you stare at it longer and longer, you realize one of the main, very evident constellations is missing. It's a large one. It looks fairly similar to Orion, a kind of a hourglass shape, and it would normally be kind of on the northwestern hemisphere at this time during the night sky's rotation, but it's ostensibly not there.
What's the name of the constellation?
Good question. It's got a name.
The Starlight constellation?
What about the constellation Araxes?
Axes. All right, I like that.
2 R's, 2 X's.
My favorite planet on Spore.
Can't fumble papers when you go digital.
You can lose your
Keyboard
window.
keys go flying everywhere.
Yeah, where'd my keyboard go? I look through my desktop. That's just a complete mess.
My boss told me that she had she likes doing April Fool's pranks. So one of her coworkers, she was a hunt and pecker when it came to typing. So she like switched the keyboard keys around, but only a little bit. Like switch the S and the D, or switch the O and the P.
That's fantastic.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
It just keeps going. So, what are you guys doing?
Can I do a perception check to make sure there's no other surprises waiting for us?
Go right ahead.
Perception.
Was one of those sounds the donation goal?
No, that was a raid. And hello, everybody. I'm Rosin.
Nice.
We are
It's
doing
otters.
Yes. We are doing Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons this evening. A little bit later.
Coming in for a raid right now.
We've got Meatwad here with us.
We shouldn't.
Have you heard of that Shadow Legends run too? That one's pretty cool.
We're not sponsored by them yet.
I just love keeping up to date. No,
Really? You and like maybe 2 other people on the internet aren't.
No,
remember,
a
they said
lot.
they don't sponsor gamers.
I know, I'm joking.
All right. So 20. With the starlight, it's a kind of a moonless light since there are no moons in the night sky here. You would see a very, very, very dim light kind of between the trees, kind of illuminating the area around you in just a way that you'd every so often you'd see what kind of looks like a faint shadow, but whenever you look close to it, it kind of goes away. You don't hear anything though.
Does it fade or does it look like it moves somewhere?
It kind of fades, just kind of like ghosts in your vision.
But I definitely saw where it was.
That was at noon. Sorry.
Oh, this is a noon.
Not at noon. Zero. Sorry.
Hello.
I'm not good at this.
Who's this? Iron King? Am I talking to a banana?
I'll just take a note of that. Seems the area is clear for now. Say we don't dwell here for too much longer.
Yeah, I might hate this later on, but don't attack anything until after it attacks me. I'll take point.
It seems valid.
Mo, Larry, and Curly up front. 3 Musketeers.
I'll guard the researcher.
All right. He's kind of comes out from behind one of the trees in the rear. Now that everything's kind of calmed down. The familiar and almost comforting flicker of the ever-bright lantern behind him. It seems that he's actually mounted it on a long kind of stick that's kind of pokes out of his backpack.
You have good survival instincts. You shall not last longer here.
Well, that's the plan, yeah.
How many adventures have you gone on?
Quite a few. Mostly kind of archaeological things. I got commissioned by Morgrave University quite a bit.
Hey, this just dawned on me, but should we have told the Earth Elementals about Blue?
Yeah, I probably should have asked. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I've just been thinking about them.
I look towards the new. I do apologize for those future guards if they meet up with the my significant other. You could bill me later.
Do I still have a sending stone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask it where my pet robot is.
Didn't you
Hello?
piss him
Have you
off
seen-
royally?
Have you seen my robot?
Has anyone seen my baby?
You wouldn't receive a response.
Okay, I'll put it away.
All right.
I want to climb up on Zark's shoulder and take point. I'll take position.
All right.
There's a little bit less room here, but not saying there isn't or still a lot.
It balances out.
At this point, Anun with that sending stone, it's like a dog with a shock collar where it's just like, we're just making the quietest noises possible, trying not to trigger it. And it's still testing it. Alright, yeah. Anun's ready to proceed.
All right. In front of you, where the path kind of leads, just kind of stops. The forest around it, or it kind of just leads right into a dead end, leading into more kind of dense forest towards the front. So that seems to be where the trail ends, as far as you're aware.
You said that there was a shining light between trees, right?
Sorry, no, I meant that to say that like the dim starlight was kind of shining down
okay.
between all the trees.
Dinnel.
I?
Can you climb a tree for me and see if you can find any kind of celestial map or anything that maybe the stars are illuminating on that we're not seeing the bigger picture yet?
A celestial map?
Just maybe something that...
Oh, like particular points. Yes, I will do so.
want to get a better view of this terrain.
I will find the tallest tree and climb it.
All right. As you climb the tree, kind of perch up at the top and look around, and your eyes are starting to kind of adjust to the low light, and you see that the clearing that you're in, and the kind of forest that you're in, is about 300 feet on any side. It's kind of roughly spherical, and at the edge there's these large, kind of almost vertical, foreboding cliffs reaching up fairly high. About 100 to 200 feet high. Now that you're up here, you can finally see those cliff sides. But with the tree that you're on, you can't actually see above that, so you can't really see outside of this little forest grove.
I'll climb back down and relay that. Hey, dude.
I think you're muted, Noon.
You're correct.
I'm like, please be there because I don't honestly remember what all he's just said.
Yeah, I hate that I don't have any indication. Like, there's no red light or anything on this mic that tells me if it's muted or not. Thinking about
That's
I'd like
a freaking LED like above my monitor.
I'd like to take this moment to point out the pun Creighton just.
Sorry?
Rochelle says the tree eats you, and Creighton responded, "Guess that tree would have more bite than."
Ugh. I didn't even hear the whole thing, but I know the pun.
All right, Anun is gonna open up the runed book.
All right. Looking through it a bit more. Just trying to find anything of significance. You do happen to find a rune that kind of pops out at you. It's that roughly kind of hourglass shape of that of the constellation that's missing.
Okay. I want to find a stick or something, maybe use a wand and draw that into the snow and then fill in the constellation.
Nothing seems to happen. From your position, you can even see the exact spot on the night sky where it ought to be. But it's just kind of a random scattering of stars.
How far away can this be? Alright, I guess I'll do 30 feet above me. I'm gonna try minor illusioning the constellation back into the night sky.
Alright. From your position, as you do so, you hear somewhere within the trees towards that direction, towards the northwest. You hear a very faint, kind of shifting, creaking sound.
My ears will turn towards it. I will leave the hobgoblin with the rest of the group of me and Gaster. Go check it out.
All right. As you guys head off into the forest.
I'll have the other guys behind me at an interval.
All right. As you start to go off into the woods, the snow is a little bit deeper in here.
I just want to make sure that I was clear. I want the others to follow me. Not going by myself. Just ahead.
How long has Pudding been out of his flask, by the way? Dusty, you put Pudding back into the flask?
Oh, Dusty, I'm kind of dry now. Here, can I go back in?
Yeah, I'll put him back.
Alright.
If we're gonna meet some people, then maybe don't have pudding out. Besides, there's nothing for him to eat out here anyway.
Alright. As he kind of splorps back into the little flask.
Hi, pudding.
So, as you all start to head off into the woods, the evergreens kind of towering above you. Every so often, you accidentally brush against one, and it dumps quite a bit of snow onto the ground. And it's silent again, not even the wind anymore. And eventually, you, continuing onwards in that same direction, you eventually see that up against the wall, this large kind of vertical cliff face of dark, um, kind of weathered-looking stone. The tree itself seems to have split. A large kind of opening right in the trunk, about the size of a doorway, and it leads very, very sharply downwards into advanced darkness.
Now everyone's quoting SpongeBob in their head.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan?
Already.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Anun's gonna give the halfling a torch. Useful.
All right. I mean, he already has his lantern.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Okay.
Right, Anun's gonna ignite his tails. Well, he's kind of interested in seeing if there's any, like, reliefs carved into the side of the cave.
Seems fairly plain.
Any more of those, kind of guiding lines that were in the other area?
There are more of them in here, yeah.
What I'm looking for.
And you look at it and you see that
is on fire.
it's actually
Sorry about that.
emitting a very small, very, very small amount of, I believe this would be conjuration magic.
Oh, that's great.
I think it would be. I need to check a spell real quick.
This suit is on fire.
Evocation, actually.
All right.
But you can tell that the sort of the intended level of it would be fairly.
Oh, so it's not, it doesn't have plot armor?
More of you'd be able to tell that it's not like a fireball coming from all directions.
All right. I'm just gonna let everyone. I'm just gonna say you might need a duck. There's some runes around here. How wide is this tunnel?
It's a fairly narrow passageway.
So like one or two in a column.
It's about 5 feet across.
Okay,
Initially,
so
as it leads downwards from this tree in a very steep staircase.
will look like that.
Sorry, I've closed the map.
Oh, okay.
But I'll wait.
And Rosalind and Blue have become some monstrosity here on the party sheet.
I don't know what's going on there. All right, so and then you're leading the charge.
I am indeed.
All right. Give me a moment to get the next map ready.
While we're waiting, how about a hand of caravan?
Where are my freaking grid lines?
Said you don't fumble when things went digital.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't count.
No, fuck off.
It's hard to reach the other end of the keyboard.
Exactly.
Hard to reach the keys, those feather fingers.
I got short arms, so I can't reach the middle, so I don't type with J's.
I see the toolbar. Thank you. A little bit smaller. Okay, a little bit bigger.
While we're waiting for Nova, I just want to tell you guys about this new game I've been playing called Raid Shadow Legends.
Skip.
Oh. I guess I'm doing a really bad job tonight.
Oh no, I skipped him.
He has been skipped.
Shit, replay the dialogue. Talk to him again. I'm not getting the same prompt. Damn it.
No.
Oh, it's gonna be real janky. Managed to get. I got the grid lines to fit last time when I was actually setting it up for real, but you know, they're just not fitting now. Also, this is a tremendously large map. All right.
One eternity later.
Yep.
Oh, not minimize. Where'd it go? Oh God.
Did you fumble your
Right,
digital
no.
papers?
Fumble.
Fumbling so hard right now, guys. I'm sorry.
You
That was
said you
interesting
couldn't
choice of
do
play,
that.
bud. Let's see what's gonna happen in this next round.
This is what happens when you place ones and zeros with ones and twos.
Yeah. All right.
Bird puts everything on the computer. Bold strategy. Let's see how it holds.
So there's that little little bit of veiled area. Very tiny amount of it. I told you
Nice.
this. Yeah. I don't know why the grid is so hilariously off sync. I think it's actually crooked on the map itself.
Is it really that tiny?
Yeah.
This is a
It's
big
a big
area.
map. Yeah.
I didn't realize I had 1,000 windows open on Fantasy Grounds. I can't find anything.
It's so easy for it to happen.
Found it. Nope, I lost it. Nope, we're good again.
Don't let this happen to your loved one.
Uh-oh. Ignore that.
Only you can prevent Fantasy Ground fumbles.
Initiative. Where? That's what I meant to do. All right. So we've got Inun in the front. Zerth is somewhere back there. Yark's also kind of a little bit far back.
I'm somewhere.
Somewhere.
Over the rainbow.
And then we've got Gaster and a Hubgub. It's a lot to squeeze through here.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Could Inun, Zerth, and Sunil make a perception check for
What?
You overstep your bounds as a player. Yeah.
No, I'm saying for me, not for the game.
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to.
Are we doing perception checks for what?
Good question.
For Yark.
Oh, for Yark.
My cobalt
Do I see 'em?
bullshit senses are tingling.
You okay, sir?
DeSoda
hit
is
the-
going to randomly bite Yark.
I'm good.
Okay.
I had a moment. The moment passed.
All right.
I was not expecting that.
Oh.
Zerth accidentally steps on Yark.
Scrunch.
He walks heavy.
Take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, Yark. I did it too.
My.
It's a
Zerth,
curse.
you hear a small squeak or a yap.
I look down. I'm gonna pick him up and put him on his shoulder. I can't take you anywhere, can I?
I'll carry him.
He yips tiredly, or yips a woozy. I guarantee you, like, Zerth's entire foot could cover up Cobalt. Yark. God dang.
It just
Even
keeps happening.
Look, if anyone says Cobalt, just pretend they said Kobold, and you will achieve the same.
I usually just switch to it in the middle of saying whatever I was saying. Kobold.
Yark got stepped on. It was accidental, but it was bound to happen eventually.
Surprised it hadn't happened earlier, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, what were you doing?
So, as you head down further, the atmosphere kind of changes. Whereas previously the air was fairly sort of clean and almost dry, it has a kind of a mustier feeling. There's a very, very faint smell of mildew and mold, along with some sort of caustic smell that you really can't place yet. But the silence has kind of given way a little bit to a very faint kind of alchemical hum. A very faint sound of maybe industry? You're not quite sure.
Mm. I'm gonna let I'm following Inun's lead since he seems to be the one on point and the danger zone detector essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Noon.
Yeah, sorry, Nude moves forward.
All right.
The next room down that staircase. Just still trying to follow the walls and such.
So the first signs of decay and the sort of disrepair of this area start to shine through.
Very welcome here.
You see off in the corner there's a handful of these charred looking skeletons. And on the places where their bones are broken, you can see what looks to be almost like a smoky quartz crystal.
I see anything else in the room?
You would see a large drain, kind of right in the middle. There's a very heavy grate on top of it, leading into a very dark, kind of a channel straight downwards. But you'd see a door to the south and a door to the west. Go ahead and give me a strength check
Strength check?
to pry it open.
Oh, I thought it was like just like a grate where it's just bars.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna. Okay, I thought you were trying to lift it up. You just want to look down.
Yeah, I was looking if there was like dried blood around the sides of it.
No dried blood, but there is a very
There's
small,
a lot of fresh blood, though.
Yeah, a very small kind of speckle of this kind of very greenish solution.
Well, this isn't a sacrifice chamber, so. All right, guys, get in here.
Well, he said so, so okay.
Silva, we get in there.
All right.
If I have no problems, can I go over to the skeletons and check out the quartz you said I was already able to see?
Yeah. The crystal itself seems to have grown into the floor. So it's almost as if the floor has come up and kind of grabbed these bones and grown crystals over them. But there's 3 partial skeletons. All of them are missing skulls.
Anything carved into the bone?
Looking at it closely, give me an investigation check. You wouldn't really
Bones.
see anything.
What about the quartz? Oh, sorry, I already asked about that.
Yeah.
I'll take my frying pan and start tapping at the base of it, seeing if I can break off a piece.
Okay. It's fairly fragile crystal, so it breaks off easily. You're not feeling any sort of magic from it, so it just seems to be mundane quartz.
He's inspecting it because he was wondering if it was these gems from the Underdark he heard of, but they don't match up.
No, these don't seem to be the Sybaris,
Summoning
Eberron.
crystals?
What?
I'm thinking of something else.
Trying to remember what they're called. There's the Sybaris, which is from the sky. Eberron crystals are the pink ones. Dragon shards. Kyber. No, these are not them.
Kyber crystals?
Yeah. Or Kyber dragon shards. Kyber is the dragon below. Sybaris is the dragon above.
So yeah, these gems were supposed to be forged into pretty powerful swords, right?
I mean, you can try to get these quartz crystals to do that, but these are not Kyber crystals.
So, but what are they? Are they?
They're just mundane smoky
Oh,
quartz.
okay. You started going off about all these special ones. I'm like, okay.
No, I was just trying to remember which ones were which.
All right, he's gonna Try breaking down that piece and just throw it in his pack. As many pieces as you can get from it.
It's about a pound before it starts getting kind of powdery.
Okay. Charred skeletons with no skulls.
Huh.
What else is around the room? Walls.
There's a handful of these alcoves where you can see a little bit of a kind of these growths on the floor, very similar. But these alcoves in the wall have nothing in them. Maybe in the past, a suit of armor or a skeleton might have been standing in them, but not any longer.
Actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give...
Give what?
I'm trying to think of if Gaster had any... Just a skeleton, or if he had any clothes on.
I think Gaster's wearing a really kind of banged up, rusty half plate at the moment.
We have a single pocket.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else doing anything?
Is it just this big room, or is there other places?
There's a door on the south wall. There's also a door on the west.
I'm gonna go to the south
All right.
and try opening the door.
Oops.
Woo!
Accidentally. So, the door, it seems to be made entirely of a kind of a rusted metal. But activating the latch, there's a faint kind of a screech and a squeal as the rusted metal protests. But you're able to get it open, and looking inside, you see a bunch of fun stuff.
Ooh.
Hey, a moving platform puzzle.
Yeah.
Is that a pit
Inside-
of boiling acid I see?
Some sort of green liquid.
Oh, Dova, you shouldn't have.
Sinnoh would like to dip the gator's tail into it.
And then?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if you think, can an empty component pouch hold one potion of healing, you think?
Probably could. But then you'd be compromising its ability to hold components, since a lot of the components are very small, whereas the potions of healing, they're...
No, I'm thinking because I already have a few wands that are arcane focuses anyways.
Alright.
So I want to attach the component pouch to Gaster and then give him one potion of healing.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say
Administer
you'd be able
me.
to do that. Just stuff it in there.
And then, you know, like in Far Cry, I just have to go hunt down a couple of, you know, some pumas, some gators, make another holster.
Yeah, of course.
Dirt, want to help out? And how many holsters can I make?
A lot less now.
Assassin's Creed did that too. It's like, yes, hunt this one rare animal and you can make a super mundane pouch. Like, thanks.
Yes. Good.
So, Dova, paint a word picture for me.
Okay. Ahead, you can see the exit to the next room, obviously. And in front of you is a very small, kind of rusted metal platform, leading off the edge into a continuously roiling and bubbling vat. The entire room, just the air full of this toxic, caustic smell that burns your nostrils a bit. But you can see entrances to little rooms and various valves and control structures on pretty much all of these little entrances. And you can see this moving scaffold right in the middle. It appears that at one point there were a lot more of the little platforms kind of leading off in all directions, but the only ones that are still left are the ones kind of shaped in an L. Not on her forehead.
Okay, Sino, you go dive in. Let me know how it looks.
Better yet, Yark, you got that twine?
Yes. I take it out of my back.
Let's dip that in.
True. I don't want my coat to be dyed green.
I dip some of the hempen twine into the.
All right.
Yeah, that.
So as you do so, you bring it back up, and it doesn't seem to be melting at all. But you can see as the twine itself starts to very subtly change. It kind of roils and bubbles a little bit as the liquid soaks in, and about the last about 3 inches of the rope grow these chitinous, almost the same texture and material as like fingernails or claws of like thorns on the end.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Let's not touch that. How is the dial thing in the middle moving?
No. It's currently still.
Is it shaped exactly like that?
Yeah.
How deep does this thing look?
One moment.
You can't see any indication of a bottom. But there's about a 10-foot gap between the platform itself and the start of the liquid.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is the twine still usable? Like for tying around something?
It appears so. I mean, if you don't mind the very sharp-feeling thorns at the end.
But along it?
Yeah.
I'd like to tie the twine around, we'll say 5 of my regular arrows and dip those in.
Okay. So, doing so will take about 10 minutes. Or probably a little bit less, about 5 minutes, since you have to tie each one of it individually and then dip it. With each one, the result is different. None of them really replicating the same amount of like hostility as the first. The first one comes up covered in a very thick fur. The second one seems to just rot away. and then so on and so forth. They all just seem to. The twine itself doesn't really hold up to these experiments. The arrows are fine, I assume, because you're using the magic arrows.
No, I said I was using regular ones.
Okay, then the arrows would themselves would kind of suffer from this as well. And then the last one you bring up, the front half of it, the part that was submerged, just seems to kind of crumble into a white flaky powder.
I'm gonna sniff the powder.
Hmm.
You know what?
Sniff the powder.
Uh,
Not really.
Smells like
I'm gonna
bone
try
dust.
to stop
really.
him.
Not really.
Hmm.
So none of the arrows are usable anymore?
No, not as
Damn.
arrows.
Let's see. So on the one hand, you could grow thorns. On one hand, you could grow fur. On a couple hands, you could just disintegrate.
Yeah.
Wild magic in this pool.
I'm gonna take one of my short swords, and tie it to the end of the string, and dip it in and pull it back.
All right. Bringing it back out. Nothing seems to have happened to it. You
Really?
dip the whole thing in?
Yeah, the whole sword. Or
Just
no, I'll try to do just the blade.
just the blade? Nothing.
I'm gonna keep it in there for a little bit longer and try again.
All right. Again, just the blade? Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna carefully tie the string around the blade and dip just the hilt in.
As you do so, you would see that just the wooden hilt has now become the texture of almost like shark skin.
Okay, so it seems to only affect organic matter.
Namely, you guys.
And it's 10 feet.
Yeah, it's about 10 feet from the floor to the start of the liquid.
As a man of science, you have no idea how tempting it is to just jump in and see what happens. But my
Your
Well, here you go.
self-preservation tells
He's
you
gonna
no.
push you in.
My
You're lit-
self-preservation-
and Inu,
self-preservation-
we cannot hear you.
my self-preservation is really fighting against.
Sinnoh's gonna
Put
push
up a
him in.
serious fight.
You fucker! You fucker!
Nova,
Yeah.
Seriously?
do we see any gears or cranks on this side?
On this side, yes. On the left, there's a large looking.
All right, so why don't we try using the crank?
Basically a crank. All right, you wanna do so?
I want to tell someone else to do that because it'd be pointless for me to.
Where be that crank?
Yeah, it's on the right side of the room, looking down on it from above.
I think Sinnoh's looking at it. If you're looking at the map.
Yes.
Sinnoh's right next to it.
Have someone try that out.
Sinnoh will do so.
I'm gonna
Alright.
make sure Yark does not fall in.
Oh no, Sinnoh already
So-
pushed him in.
As you
You better
start
not.
spinning the wheel, you hear kind of a large, long, loud squeal. As a short while later, you hear a very faint hissing noise from inside the pipe that leads kind of off the platform and along the edge of the room. Somewhere deep inside the pool, it kind of terminates, and the center platform starts kind of jerkily turning kind of in a counterclockwise direction.
Not turning on the map graphics 1 out of 10.
Wait, I can't change the map. Don't worry, I've got a bent toothpick here. That's giving me my own visual aid.
We need somebody proficient with Photoshop.
Yeah,
Make that center.
I can't do this. I can't do this in real time.
Take one of those spinning little Game Boy ones, and that's what you use for this.
Here, oh, actually, I have an idea. This might just work.
Man, if I had an undo button for just once in the whole game, I would jump into the just to undo.
I know. I am
Just-
so. I am also
Just
so
to undo,
incredibly
just in case something
curious.
I, as a player, am super curious too. But I, as Zerth, is like, no, that's a big.
Let me put it this way: I like Yark too much to risk.
I mean, technically, somebody could redeem influence to give us an undo
That-
button if we don't like it.
That'd be like a
Zeno,
major or game.
You do
that'd be
that,
like a-
and Dusty will kill you.
that'd be like a
shove-
major or game breaking.
Do what?
I feel like if me and Zerth cast spells at the same time, we could essentially revivify.
Well, not if the whole body is destroyed, unfortunately.
Ah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll
Just
figure
my
something
hobgoblin
out.
over there.
Sentient living dust.
Hey, I
pile.
can help too. I mean, it may be an
After you
animal
push
body.
him?
It may be. Okay, in characterly, you don't know about that.
Well, after
'Cause it
I
wasn't
see
happening.
it, you are going to get stabbed with the spear,
It wasn't
and nobody's
happening.
gonna stop me.
It wasn't happening. But
Are we all talking about sacrificing Yark?
Hey,
no,
hey,
we are
I'm
talking
okay with it
about
too.
science.
If we all push him in, we don't know who killed him.
I see. This is the part where Dusty dies trying to kill all of you, then.
But he could be perfectly fine. Even be better. For all we know, it
Yeah.
turns his.
The
it
DM
turns his-
explicitly
Well,
told
here's
us.
the thing.
Us.
Here's the thing, like, even if it's a permanent effect, I might not want it. Like, I don't want thorns all over me, but it would be cool to find out what happened.
Once if you transform back into a classic D&D kobold.
The little dog thing, yeah.
The dog.
No.
Dog
With our
thing-
luck, he might turn into the Warcraft cult.
Oh,
Oh, gross.
I think it would be
or the EverQuest one.
right here, right here.
Hey, Dove, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
No, better yet, he'll turn into a Skaven.
What level?
Then
what
we'll
level,
never be able to trust him.
influence would an undo button be?
A single
Game-breaking.
mulligan coin. That would definitely be game breaking.
I mean, for something like this, I would probably say it'd be
Major.
I think for something where it's just this overwhelming curiosity, maybe probably moderate.
there's a little coin slot right next to the vat that says one undo, one magic coin.
Okay, so we need a potion of determination.
But the important question is, if there's only one undo button, who's gonna take the plunge?
I would.
That's Yark.
I want to try. I want to see what happens.
I mean, you can do it anyway.
I know, but I don't want to lose Yark or have covered in gross spikes or something.
All right.
least
then
My
we can continue
opinion,
with the puzzle.
for something like this, it would just be a moderate, but it would be
No.
a very specific undo.
Well, and Dova also has to put his 2 cents in for that.
Yeah.
Really takes away just to see what Dova comes up with to undo it.
Yeah, but like the problem is, if we just have an undo button, Dova might be like, "Oh well, you're green now."
Or there is no undo button, and that was the undo button. It was lies.
He does lie.
I lie a lot of the time. Let's be real here.
I
It's,
imagine for you, it's like
part of
breathing.
being a DM.
Yeah.
I know this.
Yark, just think about the scientific discovery we could make with this.
One of the little scaffold platforms is approaching your end, but it's rotating very, very kind of shaky and shuddery.
If anybody's going on that, Zer's going to accompany them because he doesn't know what's in those other rooms, and going by yourself is a very bad idea.
Well, yeah, I figured we all we would
Yeah,
go.
let's get ready to get on the platform.
All right. So who's gonna try to get on the platform as it passes by?
I will.
I'm standing on Zer's shoulder, or laying on Zer's shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So Yark and I.
All right. You realize you might be able to actually stop it, but getting on it out of character would require an acrobatics check.
Hey, let's stop it.
All right.
Yeah. My acrobatics are not that great.
Okay, actually, Dova, what are the mechanics behind the crank? Is it continuously going?
It's just open at the moment, so you can feel or you can hear steam or some sort of gas passing through it at the moment.
Okay, so it's only activating a line that's powering a motor. It's not the crank is powering this.
No.
Okay, so that's just a steam. Okay.
All right. So are we stopping it?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Okay.
So as it kind of slowly comes to a halt, it is now on either side of the platform, kind of like an X. So it appears that you've overshot, but after a little while of fiddling around with it, very slowly moving it, you can have it so that one of the ends is pointing towards you guys.
Okay. We're gonna hop on.
All right. It feels rickety.
Ooh.
The little platform feels rusted to all hell, and you can probably determine exactly how the other ends fell off.
As I'm walking, I'm casting mending.
All right.
Dova,
that takes
Dova,
a minute each.
No, it
Does it
doesn't.
take a minute?
No, it takes an
It
action.
does.
All right.
No, casting time 1 minute.
As you
For the cantrip mending?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like an out of combat thing.
What an awful, awful spell.
I thought it was instant. Like the duration is instantaneous, but anyway, like slow, just like cast mending.
All right. You've reached the center with Yark on your back.
This thing is very wobbly. Alright. So is it? It's pointing to the other room.
Yeah, it's pointing to the left.
Shall we go, York?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna go towards the room.
All right. Inside this little this alcove over here is an identical looking crank. With part of it leading into the room on the other side. So kind of one quarter turnover. So directly south of you guys.
Hmm. We're gonna enter the room.
All right.
I'm on the ready.
Heading in, you don't happen to see anything undead. You don't happen to see any spooky ghosties. You just happen to see the crank.
I'm gonna pull the crank, but I'm gonna yell to the other group. There's a lever in here. I'm gonna pull it. Just be ready.
Okay.
All right. Pulling on this crank, you hear steam entering through the pipe, and kind of going off to the south into that room. But other than that, you don't really hear anything.
Okay. And this is just an empty, dead-end room.
Yeah.
And we can get back on the platform.
Yeah. It's
Alright.
it's currently still.
We're gonna get back on the platform.
All right.
Rotate us towards each room so we can clear this out.
Okay.
I'll say you can probably figure this out if you take things slow and there's really no rush for time.
Hmm.
There isn't.
Heading into this room, oop, I accidentally just grabbed the big L. That doesn't. Heading into this room, you see a much smaller little receptacle, and this is actually just a lever on this one. Pulling the lever would open a trapdoor in the ceiling above the pit, and neither of you guys in there would see this, but a rotten, sort of mangled body falls from the trapdoor into the goop. As it roils and bubbles, you think you hear a kind of a faint squeal and a scream, but it quickly dies down beneath the
Hey.
kind of burbling liquid.
Wow.
Before it slowly goes still.
I looked at Yark. These rooms are very bland.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting something a little more interesting, because of how the center room.
Yeah.
I mean, you see in this one there is kind of a behind a veil of kind of this whole shadowy interior. You would see a body in here. It's basically skeletal at this point, but you can see that their left arm, where the kind of midway to the elbow, it just kind of ends. It doesn't look like it was cut off, but more melted off.
Mm. It's just pure skeleton.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the body.
All right. It kind of falls apart because there's really no cartilage connecting it anymore.
I'm gonna yell down the room. Noon, do you need any bones?
I'm okay for now.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it into the pool of greenness.
All right.
And I guess we'll continue with the rooms.
All right. So this one is a fairly heavy-looking door with a kind of a clouded-up porthole, but it seems it is definitely locked. And kind of going around in a circle. These are fairly kind of not necessarily featureless. There's lots of very strange dials and gauges along in these small alcoves, along with the kind of rotted posters and various charts that have just been kind of corroded by the air in here over such a long time that they've just kind of curled up into a little crumpled up balls of just useless paper. But this one as well wouldn't actually. I'll say this one's actually on, but these would also drop bodies from trapdoors up above into the roiling liquids.
Do you feel like we're making a mistake?
What was the last party that happened here?
He just kind of says, frankly, I don't actually remember. I just read about it in the paper.
Good.
But I assume it would probably be about the same size as we have now, maybe 4 to 5.
So there was nothing else in that room except for paper that we can't read.
And a lever. In all of these, the lever would kind of drop a body down into the liquid below.
I'd be pulling the levers.
But as you slowly kind of rotate it around, you eventually get to all of the rooms, and they would all kind of, or as you turn the valve to the north, there'd be a very, very faint humming as it all sort of clicks and turns something else a little bit larger on, and you would kind of see the liquid start to very slowly turn as it's stirred beneath the surface. These little eddies and kind of currents bubble up to the surface and bring about some different colored goop, much darker colored, as it slowly starts to mix together. The air is full of a kind of this clawing mist that seems to get inside your lungs and makes your breath feel a little bit short. But you'd eventually discover that you can actually change the orientation of those. You can kind of like split the orientation of those platforms in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually, after a while, and it takes about 20 minutes, but you figure out how to make it just a straight bridge from the other side.
We will do that. If Yark's okay with it, I would like to be on the other side where that locked door is and try and open that.
All right.
Sure.
The door seems to be open.
Oh, it's unlocked now?
Yep.
I'm gonna slowly enter as I yell back to the group. The door's unlocked. Don't know what those other levers did. But you can come across. Just be careful, the bridge is very weak. As I will enter the next room.
All right. So, the bridge is open, so you guys can head over if you like. But this room, as you kind of peek your head in, you see it smells very faintly of, well, the smell from the previous room just kind of won't leave your nostrils anymore. But it looks as though this room was a storage room of some sort. But it's completely empty right now. The bare floor showing quite a few signs of large crates being dragged around. But on the opposite side, there's a very large, imposing-looking door, which seems to have quite a few runes on it, as well as what definitely appears to be an arcane seal right in the middle.
And Noon, you think you can open this?
I'm sure we'll figure it out. Yeah, dude.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I can figure anything else about just from seeing?
I suppose you could as well. But yeah, anyone give me a
Never
Arcana
mind.
check.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of the same runes that, as he looks at it and kind of traces his finger along the large arcane rune on the front of it, he would realize, or you would realize, anyone, that it seems to be coded by an actual voiced passcode.
For whatever reason, he already assumed that before walking up. He's gonna go to the door. Not take the book out yet. He's just gonna look at the runes. Kind of close his eyes and just try to listen if there's anything inside and just kind of speak out whatever vocalizations he's trying to sense. He's trying to see if he can feel whatever the incantation is.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. You don't happen to hear anything from the other side. It seems fairly quiet.
Not necessarily that. He's looking inward.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and here, I'll just roll something.
Because these runes are already programmed in his freaking head.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't invent them. He just writes them down. So there might be more that he knows that he doesn't know.
You look inward and you try to, you basically just go with whatever your mind comes up with. And the little phrases that you just kind of come to the front of your memory don't seem to work. One of them you were very sure on. It was in Sylvan and it just sounded like it ought to be right. But like with the times before it, whenever you spoke a wrong passphrase, it did the same thing. There was a little flare up of faint red light in one of the inner circles.
I want to check around the room.
All right. You would find that there is one kind of dilapidated, broken box still left. And looking inside, you see a handful of baskets full of these dried up, clearly kind of rotted and desiccated flowers and wild herbs.
And all the other boxes are empty, and there's no tapestries or anything on the walls.
There's no tapestries. That was the only box that's actually still there. The rest of them, you can see evidence of them being dragged away at some past.
Where do the drag marks go? Do they only go back to the previous room?
Yeah. One of them would have led inwards towards the door that you're looking at. But it's more of a scuff mark rather than an actual sort of gouge in the floor.
He's gonna reference his book. See if the others have ideas.
Maybe there's clues in one of the other rooms.
Yeah, Zerth, did you guys see anything in those manifold rooms?
There was a room that had a bunch of papers in it, but they're all destroyed. Wait, Dova, could I have used mending on those papers?
I think we established that it doesn't restore the ink in the books.
Okay, I couldn't remember if
No.
we established that or not.
I think it's from magic books. I don't know. We figured something out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more of a physical break rather than something kind of disintegrating due to time.
I say we look through the other side of the room, and then see if we can find something over there.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. So, heading back the way you came.
I'm gonna
I
keep
was
an
moving
eye
north.
over the.
I was asking if there was more to the north.
There was a doorway leading to the west out of that room you came in through.
I'm gonna go be the last one on the bridge since I'm the heaviest. So I'm gonna make sure everybody goes across, and then I'm gonna cross. Keep
Alright.
an eye on the water just in case he doesn't trust this green goop.
And Noon's gonna leave the hobgoblin in this room.
All right. I get it.
Thing's my redheaded stepchild. I love Gaster. I don't know how this hobgoblin's still with me.
He just never leaves.
I guess I keep putting him back in a bag.
Yeah.
Too loyal.
Nice and loyal for 24 hours and they don't care.
After 24 hours, the loyalty is done. So, out towards the west, the kind of beat up, or there's a little foyer, a little more ways in. I forgot that there isn't actually a door yet, but there is deeper in, and kind of pushing in. You would be greeted by this room. A lot more of the quartz is in this room, kind of pushing up from the spaces between the tiles.
Was there any doorways to the north or just to the west?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Or investigation, if you're gonna get close and personal.
Okay. Hey, there's a grate.
And you're not seeing anything. The walls look pretty smooth.
Okay, well, they are walls. I was asking if there was a doorway.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see any doorway.
There is a doorway, I just don't see it.
You're convinced that there's a doorway leading directly north. About right in the middle of that wall.
Alright, Gaster, start pounding on that wall.
Takes his hardened stone fist and just starts.
Just start stud finding all over the wall. And then, like I've been doing before.
Hold on.
Okay, what happened?
Give me a flat d20 roll in the tower for Gaster.
Okay.
You tell him to just go up all down the wall. He just goes. And then just teleports through the wall over here.
Damn it, Bethesda made this dungeon.
Yeah, no, he just clips through the wall.
It's an illusion.
You can hear him kind of heading. He keeps going. You don't know where he's going, but you can still hear him kind of pounding away. Until you hear kind of a distant, kind of rusty sound like a bear trap closing.
Oh,
You hear it kind of rattling in a. As you can probably guess that he's trying to get out of the bear trap.
I feel like Gaster has the intelligence of the Iron Giant.
Yeah, it's a little bit lower actually.
Yeah, and like with the dent, not in weapons mode.
Yeah, lots of dents.
should we help him?
So, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the last place I saw.
All right. It looks like a solid wall right here.
Well, clearly it's not.
I'm gonna let everyone in the room know that I'm about to try this out, and I'll move here
All right.
and
Nothing
recreate
like
it.
that.
Just
As you
kinda
as you
pound my
start
fist on
pounding
the
at the
wall.
wall, God, that hurts. You're gingerly kind of tapping until your fingers just kind of pass.
oh. Hey guys, I found something.
Sinnoh will cautiously follow.
Just around the corner, you can hear like a rattling sound. Oh, there he is.
What have you got yourself
He
into?
looks at you shamefully with his foot stuck in a bear trap.
Oh, well, speaking of which, I'm gonna look for more traps.
You were just about to step in one, actually.
I'll
Say, you're not sure whether it would have actually gone off, and you think Gaster might have actually stepped on it.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna grab one of these charred femurs and then come back, and that's gonna be my testing.
All right, press it down. This one doesn't seem to be working actually. Press it down past the trigger point, and nothing happens.
I'm just gonna make sure everyone knows that it's there and step over.
Okay.
And I'll try to help Gaster out.
What tarnation did I make? What the? There's like ghost copies of Sinnoh. Oh, there we go. Never mind. It's fixed now.
Oh man, Nega Showdown.
That was weird. All right. All right. Sorry. What were you doing?
Helping this idiot out.
All right. Give me a strength check.
Here we go.
Sinnoh cautiously is gonna find him and keep an eye out for further traps.
All right.
While
And he's gonna
Inun's
It's
doing
gonna
this.
suggest that we swap that out. This strength of 8. I'll give it a try.
All right.
No,
No,
can't lift these
it's
stuffed animals.
yeah. Can't get your fingers in there. What was that for,
Yeah, so-
Sinnoh? Sorry.
Traps.
He was looking out for more stuff while I did that.
Gotcha.
Now I'm gonna have Sinnoh try.
There seems to be one additional high-quality looking bear trap with a little rune in it, right in the entryway of this next room.
Throw a bow.
Want to help?
Yeah, I'll help get the bear trap out and try and safely disable the other ones.
All right. Go ahead and give me a strength check with advantage, one of you guys.
Help us settle.
Yeah, probably.
All right. You manage to get his foot out as he kind of clomps out of it, and the bear trap kind of swings closed, disarmed, and his foot out. Although there is a heavy amount of kind of denting and crunching on his shin. He looks very ashamed of himself.
Maybe we found a use for mending. Because he's shown at this point. I want to check the pressure plate on that trap to see if it also has a rune on it.
All right. The other one does not. The one that he got trapped in does not. Those two look like mundane ones.
Okay. And then I wanted to. It was just like what, a step further that Sinnoh saw?
It was right in the entranceway, right there.
I want to take a note of the rune on that trap. At this point, his book has a bunch of notes of, because he doesn't know what any of these means. He just knows general usages of them.
Okay.
So he's just kind of having lists on it. Like I've seen this on a trap. I've seen this on a door. I've seen this here. He knows the ones on, some of them on his robe, in the tent, in the bag.
All right. This actually seems to be a glyph of warding.
Oh, okay, so it's already one that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a normal school.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, looking at it and thinking, give me an Arcana check. Oh, this is a real stinker. That's a glyph of warding for the spell harm. That's what, a 5th level?
Oh.
I think that's a cleric spell also.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It's 6th level.
Sinnoh, can you disarm this so we can like use it again?
I already said I was gonna do so.
Okay.
You're not sure you can reuse the glyph of warding once you move it.
Unfortunate. Do I know if we can safely maneuver it, or should I dispel it?
You can probably move around it, but with a spell like that, it might be worth it to disarm it first.
All right. So I'm just gonna disarm it, dispel at 4th level.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh. What level is it? You said level 5.
6.
Oh, it's level 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I can't do that. I'll have to cast that 3rd and roll. All right, please don't suck.
You can do it! You did it!
I don't think so. Oh, wait, no. I have to... Do I add my modifier on this?
I believe so.
Should.
Because the DC is 10 plus the spell's level, so 16.
Yeah.
And then it adds...
Make an ability check using your spell casting ability, so +5.
Okay, yeah, so 18, so I'm good.
18, so that would succeed as the little inscribed runes using what looks to be blood as ink, kind of scramble into a fine powder and just kind of drift away. As it is disarmed.
All right, that was...
Not the actual like
Worth
bear
it.
trap part, but the magic is.
Okay, and then Sinnoh disarms the bear trap.
Okay, you just stick the bone in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that one goes off.
It chomps off another 3 inches.
And there's a small inside with a few cobwebs in the corner, a little pile of rubble near the entrance, and a rather sturdy looking chest.
Gaster, go hit the chest.
Kind of pushes past you, bumps you to the side. Unga bunga, Except
This
like
oath.
skeleton noises. Wham! Wham! He starts punching it and like kicking it.
All right,
Oh.
stop. Stop.
You are going
Snaps
to
his
blow
leg.
us up with him one of these days.
When the hell did this skeleton get such a personality?
But yeah, his foot breaks off.
He went from being a thing to an idiot. Okay,
Pretty wonderful.
I'm gonna.
It's like walking on his little stump.
Hey, Sinnel, you want to check this for traps? It's not
I
a mimic.
will do my best. And are you sure it's not a mimic?
Yes.
Give me an investigate. Oh, never mind. There it is.
Yep.
Not a trap. But you can tell that it's not very full at all.
Sentinel will carefully open it still.
All right.
He didn't find anything, but you know, still good to be
Very
cautious.
carefully. You open it up and you see nothing. But with that investigation, you realize, wait, hold on. That's totally a false bottom, 100%. And reaching in, you kind of move your fingers along the side, and eventually you kind of get to claw up at it, and you see that inside is another smaller chest. But this one seems to be locked. It's about the size of a lockbox.
Trochka.
It just keeps going.
Yeah. Well, so is it small enough I could carry it with me? Oh wait, I do have
yeah.
thieves' tools. When did I get thieves' tools?
You could certainly try.
Yeah, that's I thought I remembered you having them. That's why I was asking.
Well then, I'm gonna do that with the thieves' tools to try and open it.
All right. Without too much effort, it does put up a fairly good fight, but eventually you get past it and click. You kind of swivel it open, and you see lying on a bed of pristinely clean velvet is a small. It kind of looks like a dragon shard. Maybe 2 inches tall.
Sinnoh won't touch it, but he will hold it up to a noon. I mean, it looks like a dragon shard, but...
Well, if it's in here, I might have use of it. And if we keep it between us, it won't get eaten.
Yeah.
Dusty's ears are ringing.
Yes, they are. I hear some bullshit.
Which one is this one? This one is. Here we go. Okay.
There goes Dova fumbling his papers again.
While
Just
everyone
making sure
else
that I have the right one.
is doing that, Zer's gonna slowly investigate this side of the room.
Sinnel, why don't you put that back in the lockbox, and then we'll have Gaster hold it, or I'll tie it to Gaster. I'll tie the lockbox to him.
Well,
Oh, sorry. I think I described it wrong. It's more of like a purple stone, less crystal and more, kind of a vibrant purple marble.
so it's a
So
dusk
it's kinda-
stone.
Yeah, so it's kind of like opaque.
all right. And you said the box was big enough or small enough I could put it in my backpack?
Backpack, no. It's fairly heavy. It's more like a safe than anything else.
Like how heavy?
Yeah.
About 100 pounds.
Oh,
100 pounds at what dimensions?
It's dense as frick.
I mean, it could be
Is
made
this
out of
made
lead
of adamantine?
or lead.
Seems to be mostly iron and steel. But it's a heavy son of a gun.
Sinnoh's gonna try
How
and
heavy
pull
is the
out
stone?
the. Sinnoh's gonna try and pull out the little velvet in there.
Okay. That's fairly easy to pull out the insert.
Kind of looking
But
for
yeah,
anything
you're
else.
trying to pull
and-
out the safe itself and just could not. It was too heavy.
So we're not gonna get this out of here with that safe, but I can take this, wrap it up in that, and that I could put in my backpack.
I mean, if you want to hold on to the magic item.
Probably a better idea than, giving it to the guy who got stuck in a bear trap.
Oh, well,
Give it to Kobold.
He's holding
Give
his
it to the
foot right
kobold.
now.
Kobold doesn't know.
Give it to the Kobold.
I don't.
I'll just hold on to it. I don't mind. And
Artificers
you and
do
I
magic
can look.
items.
All right.
You and I can
Yes.
investigate it further later.
Magic person does magic as well.
Artificers do magic items.
All right. Well, let's go. Unless there's anything else in the room.
No,
can-
that would be the only thing.
I can identify it while we walk.
Kobold, we were in a secret chamber.
I mean, you
I
did
know.
kind of go in there in full view.
No, I know.
But I can
This
help.
would at this point though, I would still consider this metagaming. I mean, you didn't decide to come in here until after we've already uncovered this magic item.
I didn't decide to come in at all. I just wanted to help.
It's fair. But yeah, since you stayed out, or since you didn't say you were going outside, then you wouldn't know just yet about the magical item. Possibly magical item.
Sinnoh's gonna wrap it up in the velvet again. Was there anything else like in the velvet or anything?
No, it was just the item.
Alright. He's gonna feel around in the both chests and double check. Make sure that there's nothing else in there.
Nothing.
Alright. In that case, yeah, he's gonna put it into his backpack.
You're not gonna let us know. Never-
It's called greed.
It is.
As
These
you guys
two are
materialize from the wall, surprising to Soda quite a bit.
Kobold calling people greedy.
There's a lot of hostility right now. Let's settle down, okay? All right, so as you make your way back out, Zerth, what are you doing?
Investigating this other side of the room while they were all doing that.
All right.
He's breaking the number. He's breaking the #1 rule.
You would find, kind of pushed up against the side next to the door, you would actually see
Does either of you want to play chicken?
beneath the rubble, you would see what looks to be a very old remains of a cut up coin pouch, as well as a scattering of silver and gold coins. The gold coins are about the same size as modern ones, but the design in them doesn't even feature King Galifar. So they're at least, I think that's a lot more. I think it's 200 years old. 'Cause his
Antique.
death is the one that sparked the Great War, which started about 100 years ago.
Would I recognize it?
You would actually. Never mind. Yeah, these were definitely from before the war, before King Galifar.
Hmm. An old relic from an old time. And he'll take them.
All right. Go ahead and add. There's probably 10 gold coins, and then 21 silver coins.
Coins. All right, you said 21 silver and 10 gold.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, 21 silver. Okay. And then I'll continue inward.
All right. Through the door is a bit larger room. The quartz has kind of pushed up through the floor in between the tiles, almost appearing like a growth of mold. There's two more skeletons, one near the door and one kind of near the top of. The one near the top seems to have a weapon next to them, seemingly untouched by the quartz and by the ravages of time. Is a long sword.
Raise a scaly eyebrow, and slowly make my way towards it.
All right.
If any of these skeletons move, I'm reacting. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Fair enough.
Okay, and I'm gonna go look at the sword.
All right. It appears to be a very well made. You're kind of familiar with the feeling of a magical item. This does not appear to be one.
Just fancy.
Fancy and also a little bit of luck.
A little bit of what?
Luck.
Luck.
That it hasn't rusted or anything.
I'll take the sword.
All right,
And
and it would come with a scabbard as well. That seems to be in a similar state of well-being.
Nice. And then I'll offer a small prayer to the skeletons.
All right.
Like not just like stealing, more like I'll put this to good use.
Yark, what you doing?
Oh, you added the item to my inventory.
Yep.
I typed in a custom one.
Just riding along.
All right, you're on top of Zerth's shoulder, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. So you would see the sword as well.
Yes. Does it?
It,
You want me to
it
identify it?
you especially would know that it isn't magical.
It isn't.
It is not.
Oh.
Yeah. Mr. Expert of magical items.
I would probably give him a long-winded story of the old kingdom, like a grandpa telling back in my day.
Everyone hears just a very long rambling story, kind of echoing through the halls from the west.
It's very dry. It's like historical textbook he's quoting.
Yeah, you gotta like hold on to his cloak to stop from like falling off his back and just not trying to fall asleep.
I do fall asleep, but I'm balanced enough on his shoulder that I can just stay there.
All right, you're just kind of like laying, kind of draped over his shoulder.
I got a lot of practice from or tips from Dusty.
Ah, I see.
I start coming out, and the last thing's like, and that's how they're called whatchamajiggets.
What?
Oh, I was just telling you about the story that.
Why are my ears burning?
Well, you
Would
see,
you like to-
there's actually a wonderful story to go with that. You see, back in Norden, we
Dusty takes the spear to his ears.
Waiting for Zim to do that.
He goes into a long, rambling, boring story again.
The exact same story, word for word.
Yep. Like drilled in them like a Catholic school.
All right, so what time is it? Ooh, it's 9:45.
Was there any other rooms in that room or just no?
There's a door leading to the west, along with one. Actually, it would just be one to the west.
I would have went towards that,
All right.
telling the story.
So this door appears to be unlocked as well, but as you're pushing it open, you feel a distinct resistance from the other side. You hear a kind of a faint, very crisp crunching sound as you kind of push a little bit harder, but it's kind of stuck. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Let's see, strength check.
You're just gonna push it a little bit further, steady yourself, get a good foothold, and just push your shoulder into it, and it swings open, pressing through a fairly thick layer of this quartz on the floor.
Crunch, crunch.
Can I do like a survival check or anything to try to compare these gems to something in nature?
Sure. Boy, that's a real weird echo I just got there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Or whatever skill I should do.
Yeah, I suppose you can probably give me survival.
Okay.
I mean, it's behaving a lot like a mold.
Mm-hmm, like it's growing.
Yeah, but I mean, crystals don't act like this in real life. Not in real life, but in,
Yeah,
normal.
even in Eberron, they don't act like that.
No.
This would be following Zerth.
All
Gaster, get over here. What are you doing?
He has a peg leg right now.
Hey, what
Oh, I
is
forgot
going
about
on?
that.
Yeah, his foot broke off.
I look.
Zerth, can you come over here and help real
Inune.
quick? I have an idea. Yeah.
You've got a very weird
I figured it
echo.
out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna look to Inun. What happened to him?
Oh, he's an idiot, but
I knew
he's
that.
good.
A brainless zombie is not one of intelligence.
Yeah, he's not a zombie. Can you help me out with mending?
I cast Mandan.
All right. You take a minute to try and reattach his leg. And
I'm
I'd say
getting-
since he is undead and made of a lot of like stone and rocky materials, you could probably do so.
I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this cantrip.
All right, as you take a
Not
minute
organic
to
anymore. It's just calcium and stone.
Yeah.
Back
and
to the
it does
room.
It does say unliving.
Trying to
Yep.
fill some of these dents in. It'd be like
Alright.
that. I forget what it's called. The Chinese tradition where they fill or they
Japanese.
fix Japanese. They fix pottery with gold.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He just is like a completely different color now. He just keeps getting fixed.
It's a mismatch of materials.
Just all sorts of bone. All right, so heading further in, you would see. I spun you around right there.
I need to make a con save.
Mm-hmm. Not get dizzy.
Not get dizzy.
All right, you see that a large, kind of fortified door has been pushed open and kind of pushed to the side by the invading quartz. And through it, you can see in the darkness, kind of reverberated by and reflected by the the sort of light that that Inun's projecting, as well as Aryabor. He's hanging out. I don't have an icon for him, but he's there. He's got his lantern. You can see it's kind of reflecting and sparkling off of something in the darkness, far beyond the broken door.
I head towards it.
All right. Looking out, you would see that the walls and the floor are encrusted with a fine layer of this kind of jagged, fairly fragile-looking, smoky quartz.
That looks interesting. Is it easy to break off?
The door, yeah, it's basically just held by like gravity. You can just kind of lift it up and set it against the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off and enter the room.
All right. Heading inside, you get a kind of faint idea of the room in total, or the whole thing. There's a large kind of crevasse in the middle. You're not sure exactly how far down it leads, but there's a natural bridge kind of leading over it, along with some dark passageways on the other side. It kind of ends just on the top left side, so imagine that's a wall up there. But it does seem to continue on towards the south. Give me a perception check.
Sure. I think I can do that for you.
You would hear a very faint sound of crystal kind of tinkling off in the distance, somewhere towards the south. You would also, in the darkness on the other side, it looks like one of those shadows from the tunnel before.
You know, this is all fun and games until somebody gets banished. As I yell into the darkness.
You yell that out? All right.
Is Zerth just like bolting through this dungeon, or can we like follow behind him?
Yeah, you can follow behind him. He's not going too fast.
I don't think bolting and speed describes Earth.
Well, I'm thinking more of a like Juggernaut, where you just get started and you're not stopping.
That's a valid point.
That's what's coming to mind.
I'm Zerth.
How far is the control range on your Raise Undead?
Not.
Okay.
Hours are mine. Oh, that I can give them commands? Let me see.
If you go a certain distance away, do you lose control? That's what I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
I can give it any commands at 60 feet, or I can give them just like guard commands. So right now I have him guarding, but he's under my command for 24 hours, regardless.
Gotcha. All right.
So yeah, if I issue no commands, it automatically defends itself to hostile creatures. Once given an order, the creature continues to follow it till the task is complete. Okay.
So that's why I was sitting here like, you know, some of these songs are really active for being cave music. Why did I add them to that list? I was playing the combat music instead of the cave.
That'll do it.
Yeah. This is much more fitting.
Heading further in. Can I get a perception check from all of you?
Do I need to make another one?
Yeah, this is for something else.
Is it
This
based?
is vision based.
Okay.
So Zerth and Sinel, you would see inside this kind of pillar of quartz, these large, kind of shiny, clear crystals right in the middle here. You see what you assume to be a reflection or like a refraction at one, but looking closely, it appeared to be a face. It kind of looked out at you, face that you did not recognize, before kind of receding back into the shiny, kind of smoky depths.
Hmm.
But looking at it more closely, you can't help but see another one. This one's a dwarven female, one you do not recognize.
That's off-putting a little bit.
Before it disappears. They both had a strange look of troubled serenity. Like they were having a bad dream.
I'm gonna roll something to see if I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's dead even. Technically high. Okay, Zer's gonna go and touch the crystal.
Alright.
Then he saw.
You feel a brief kind of stinging pain in your fingertip as the crystal in front of you becomes a little bit more clear and you can see deeper into it. This sort of endless depth. You know this thing's maybe 10 feet deep, this column, but you can see for miles into it. And you see a sea of floating, kind of featureless bodies. Featureless, not
Mundane,
because
right?
there's no features, but because you can't really, or you don't really take the time to inspect each one of them individually. However, if just for a brief moment, you see one in particular that you recognize.
Really?
The black-furred squirrel. Just for a moment, you see her silhouette, that undoubtedly Rosalind, somewhere in there, before it just kind of drifts.
Ding. He's gonna like try grabbing the crystal and just yell just incoherently. I think that's the best way I can describe that noise.
All right, as your screams kind of echo around the cavern, the rest of you just saw him kind of touch it, stare deep into it, and now he's just screaming.
What the fuck?
The crystal that you're grabbing onto breaks away in your hand, and the vision fades as you're no longer in contact with it.
Can I do an Arcana check to make sure these are mundane?
I'm going back to
Also, did I see the vision?
You would not have. This is from him. Actually, that's a good point. You yourself are not touching it, so no. You could see him kind of staring deep into it, but you can only see maybe an inch or two into the kind of smoky crystal at best.
I start attacking the crystal, like trying to get through. It's obviously he's just trying to literally jump into this crystal.
All right, so I'm guessing with your Warhammer then?
If need be, Warhammer, claws, fangs, tail,
Okay.
anything. He's just
any sort of brute force will break these things fairly easy. They're not very, especially at this size. But you can see that the column that makes this thing up actually stretches into the ceiling and kind of goes further down towards the south, stretching along the ceiling as you see more and more of these more kind of pure crystals along the wall and on the ceiling, kind of in the south along this cavern. But you break up that center thing pretty dang well.
Do I see him anymore?
No.
I'm frantically trying to track from crystal to crystal.
All right. I think with all that fun, we could probably wrap up on that. As again, you would hear that very faint, intermixed with all the yelling and the screaming, and the sound of crystal fracturing. You would hear a much kind of heavier, more rumblier sound of crystal kind of grinding each other from the south.
He's gonna take the shards of crystals he had and put them in one of his empty glass bottles and cork it. He doesn't want them just free in his bag.
All right. And give me an Arcana check, Inun.
Yeah.
Looking at these ones more carefully, it seems that the ones from kind of out there, you kind of missed it before, but now looking at them a little bit more closely, you realize these definitely have some sort of maybe paranormal qualities. It's kind of hard to track down. You've never really seen anything like this.
Right now, Anun's getting the idea in his head that there's some kind of artificial, he doesn't want to say life, but it seems like the crystals in the other room were dead, whereas these are alive.
That's probably as good of a hypothesis as any at this point.
And he's not going to take any of this stuff. He's going to take the dead cells
stuff.
or the crystals, yeah.
The ones I'm ripping apart.
No, the ones from the other room. He's going to keep that. He's not going to touch this one.
It's Panic Gator destroying, attacking crystals.
Yeah, because he's getting ideas in his head, but give this hobgoblin a name if he's going to stay with us.
Mr. Howard?
No, it's Osborne.
Gotcha. Ozzy.
Yep.
There you go.
Naming conventions.
That's proper. Osborne with a Z.
It's fantasy. Z's can be anywhere.
I mean, it could be an X, right?
True.
Osborne.
Z.
It could be an X pronounced as a Q.
Yeah. Osborne.
Osborne.
I was just being obnoxious. We'll go with the Z.
Yeah, it's in the combat tracker now.
All right.
It's official.
I didn't want him to stay with us.
Stinky.
Because he's an actual zombie. Gaster's just...
He's a skeleton.
Calcium and stone.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
good. Yeah,
like
that's...
rocks. Rocks don't smell bad, except sulfur. Sulfur smells bad.
It's the natural odor of a necromancer. Dirt and undead.
Alright, so yeah, that's going to be the end of the session.
Alrighty then.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron, Dungeons and Dragons. For some reason, I totally just about said rooms and reptiles.
It's just habit.
Thank you all so much. We will be back next week with more. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there. And they are also found down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of you guys I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really couldn't do it without you guys. I will be back in just a few minutes with the start of Animal Crossing New Horizons. So stick around and join me for that. But yeah, thank you for joining, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
I've cast my anti-funny voice spell, alright?
Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Unfortunately,
Wait, what the hell? Oh,
Cannon.
fuck, it's not working.
He didn't pass the saving throw.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Meatwad's not working either. Ooh.
It's a level 5. I mean, I told you had the opportunity to counterspell it, but
Well, this isn't even my
I don't know.
phone,
He,
Dova.
I don't know. I don't think
I'm
he
gonna
was in.
have to, I'm gonna have to power up for next week.
I don't know, Dove. I
My
don't
new
know if he
voice.
was in. I don't know if he was in 30 feet of you.
hey, I've been 30 feet of everyone, right?
No,
True.
you are because the DM, but he needs to be within 30 feet of you and see you to cast counterspell.
Hey, I mean, I am invisible on the map. I mean, it's how I'm everywhere. It's
You are the
magic.
map.
I don't have to explain shit.
anyways, Dova, thank you for running. Guys, thanks for joining for the game. I'll see you all in just a few minutes.